now, the Dow from Stifel down 260 points to 45,035. Roadwork on 6440 East at Lindbergh. That's got the right lane closed.
We have another fairly strong cold front on the way, arriving really late this afternoon into the evening. So this is the warmest day of the week by far. 87 for the high. We're ahead of the front all day long, partly sunny skies. And that front should trigger a couple of scattered thunderstorms. Prime time 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. Not anticipating anything severe. 56 for the overnight low. Winds will eventually turn to the northwest tonight. Thursday, another gorgeous day. Partly to mostly sunny skies, low humidity. 75 on Thursday. Thursday night, clear skies, 62. Friday, partly sunny. Another cold front on the way late on Friday, so maybe a spot storm. 78, and that keeps us in the 70s with that northwest flow for the weekend. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Sponsored by Penn Mutual Life Insurance. Times are always changing, but Penn Mutual stands the test of time. The 178-year young mutual company is leading the way in life insurance. Ask your independent advisor or go to pennmutual.com/STL. It's 81 downtown. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Good afternoon, St. Louis. DGS 1041 FM KMOX. Happy Wednesday. So, Kevin and Andrew and I went on a field trip today.
Yeah.
And we went to St. Charles Community College to their Immersive Learning Center. And it was, I have to admit, I was expecting a lot, but it was even cooler than I thought it would be. And it's this, it's basically a whole wing of a building.
Yeah.
And it's really cool, and it's very state-of-the-art. And there are classrooms, and then there's an immersive room. And we started in the classrooms, and we basically we have this big, headset on and stuff. And you're cell biology, and you're going through a human body, and you're finding the cancer, and you're killing it, and all this. And that was super cool. And then we went into this room, probably a little bit bigger than this studio. And it's just a room with railings on the outside. And you hook up stuff to your hands and your feet, and you wear the headset, and you are in a completely different world. And I could see the other guys, and they looked like characters, like avatars.
Cool.
Yep.
And we did this Indiana Jones adventure. And I mean, I don't even know how to describe it. I mean, at some point, the floor falls out from under you, and you feel like the floor is falling out from under you, and it's rumbly and it's tumbly.
It's got some vibrations.
They have
and
fans blowing on you.
wind.
They
Yeah.
have moisture blowing on you when it's that. And what really got me is, I think it's the closest to being in a dream I've ever been.
All right.
Because clearly it's not reality. You can tell that. But it's so close, like a dream, that it's just kind of like fuzzy reality. And then there's this section where we're on this runaway mine train, like a roller coaster. And I told the guys afterwards, I literally closed my eyes. It was weird. It was a little scary. So,
yeah, it was a bit uncanny at times. I almost fell a couple of times. I just lost my balance.
Yeah.
While trying to hop over gaps in the floor or whatever.
Yeah. Then there's a part where you reach out and grab a torch, and you literally grab.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there was
a big plastic.
Yeah, there
torch.
are physical objects in it.
Physical objects, which threw me off for sure because I did not expect that.
No,
I was like,
either.
Including the magic pearl.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Kevin grabbed the magic pearl because he was the most pure of heart,
Yeah.
as voted
Kevin
by
was also
as voted
a
by the group.
very petite, very beautiful woman.
Yeah, I was cute.
Oh, interesting.
He
Did you guys
was-
get to pick your avatars?
Yes.
But you got to choose a list, and I'm like, well, that one's pale like me, and I picked it.
Yeah, they it wasn't super clear because they put it in front of you on like a small screen. We're trying to go fast so that we can get back and get ready for the show. So they were like, pick your character that you want to be. And so we all go like, okay, this one. And pure luck of the draw that Dave and I didn't also accidentally pick. Very petite, very short-haired woman. He looked good.
Yeah, that was pretty cute.
He looked real good.
Little Tomb Raider vibe.
The way
Yeah.
Andrew is saying
Little
that.
Tomb Raider vibe.
Real good.
Yeah, I didn't realize how realistic this was.
Got like
Real,
a
real,
Black
real good.
Mirror episode situation.
I get sense that, which is why when we went off, I sent Andrew with you, and I went with that other guy.
Is that what it was?
Yeah,
Yeah, he was like,
Since he was getting a little froggy.
Well, it was weird because when we were first in there and first put the visors on and stuff, but it was still dark.
Yeah.
And Kevin was next to me, and he sort of tapped me, like reached out and tapped me, and I turned to look at him, and it was his avatar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was weird.
Yeah, that's fun,
Just
wasn't
like,
it?
oh, damn. That's
Like, hey, buddy.
Okay, I know in the past with VR, Andrew, you've said you've experienced motion sickness.
Yeah.
Was that an issue at all today?
There were a couple of times during the school one when we were like flying the thing and
Yeah.
the thing was moving that I had to like close my eyes for a couple of seconds to kind of reorient myself.
Yeah.
So the thing that really helped me is that when I have put on, like, I bought a VR headset for myself for video games and I can't use it because I get sick. But the thing that made the difference here that helped me was that we were actually like walking around. 'Cause
Okay.
the thing that I have looked this up. The thing that makes me sick is that something in my brain,
The disconnect.
doesn't work.
Oh, when you're
this
sitting
way.
in a chair trying to move.
Right,
Yeah,
when I'm
yeah.
sitting in a chair and I'm running around in a VR world, my
Yeah.
brain can't reconcile that I'm not actually moving.
Yeah.
And that's what makes me extremely dizzy and nauseous. But the actual, in that room, you're moving, you're walking around, and that made a big difference. And then the thing that I think made the big difference of not getting super sick on the educational side of it was that it was all very slow moving and
Yeah.
very like gentle.
Yeah.
Like you were not.
Yeah,
being,
the other
like-
one wasn't gentle.
No, the other one was not gentle at all. But being able to actually move within a space
Yeah.
is what made me, I think, not get sick. Is that I was actually
mu-
moving around.
We must have looked insane.
Well, I
Oh,
bet
yeah.
if you videoed it, it's funny because you're just like walking around. You're taking 3 steps, but you think you've come into another room.
Yeah.
And the way they orient you is really fascinating in this room because it's not a very big room, but it gives the impression that you're in
Oh,
this
yeah.
big giant space. So
Yeah.
Dave, did you catch them say that when we were like looking at Kevin and the other gentleman on the other side of the great big chasm,
The cavern, yeah,
they
yeah,
were
yeah.
actually standing back to back with us.
Yeah,
Like
that's
if we had
wild.
stepped backwards, we would have bumped into them.
Yeah,
Even though to
there
our
were-
eyes they appeared to be right in front of us.
It was so realistic that there were parts of it where the floor had big holes in it, and I knew there weren't holes in the floor.
Right, right.
Just as a lawyer, I know you can't put holes in the floor, but I still stepped over them. Like I couldn't not step over it. So
No, I did all those things too, but I told Andrew like the whole time I was in video game mode because I'm thinking don't screw up the game, right? Don't mess up this level because I don't want to start the level over. But as we're going through every little nook and cranny, every little side thing, I'm like, can I take that? Can I take like in video game mind? You're like, I got to gather things. I got to see if anything matters. And I tried to take jewels out of the wall, it didn't let me.
Kevin, did you
Dang it.
did you guys also have the like sliding spike thing?
Yeah.
That Dave and I were very careful to avoid.
Yeah, I just walked through it.
oh, did you?
I knew it was going to hit me.
Well,
No, I didn't. I
No,
was like, I don't know. Maybe there's a guy with a stick. Everything else is real.
I did. I got to tell you, like I
waxed me.
snapped into video game mode immediately though because you're doing those things again, not thinking you're actually going to get spiked, but like, can I ruin the game? Do we lose if we do this wrong?
yeah.
I don't want to start a level over.
Thankfully, Kevin is pure of heart, and we lived.
Yeah,
So thanks to our buddy Katie Jambrats who set that up for us.
man, that was great.
We will have them in on the show next couple weeks.
So just to be clear too, like they're going to be like the students are using those for like actual learning,
Yes.
like
Yes.
the VR stuff. They're going to be going through like the part we were treating cancer cells.
Yeah.
In an alien species from another planet, but just like to visualize all of that.
Yeah, for example, you can tour King Tutankhamun's tomb. Can you imagine how much better that is than being in a dry history class and someone's droning on and on?
Oh my
about
God, yeah.
It's like, and you're in there, and it's just
When you think about, the sense that this makes, especially now, where millennials, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, they've all come up in a visual world.
Yeah.
Right. We didn't. I was half and half. right? For part of my life, it was not that, but then for another part of it, I've been exposed to all those things.
Yeah.
So as we go forward, that's going to be a much more effective way of teaching things and getting memory because the newer generations are just generally more visual.
I asked the experts how long until this is the norm in classrooms, and he said as early as 10 years.
Yeah.
That's how people will be learning.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Totally makes sense. And when you think about just, again, the common sense of it all, how do pilots train?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They train on simulators, which is what VR is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just, in fact, it's maybe the first VR, right? Because they built out full cockpits that are mechanically run that run off the controls so you can emulate the movements and the feel of it.
Yeah.
I mean, makes total sense.
Rach, the main thing you missed was Kevin being a pretty little girl.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I wish I could have seen that.
yeah, it was great. Just picture Tomb Raider.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was
That's-
Tomb Raider
Okay.
with a hat.
I wouldn't say Tomb Raider.
Yeah, it's ish. Tomb Raider-ish with a hat.
He's got a
What kind of hat? Like a baseball
very high
hat?
opinion.
No, they
of
were like
himself as a
old-timey
lady.
hats, like
we looked like
old newsboy hats.
old-time train conductors or
Yeah.
something.
That was weird.
Interesting.
Well, we were going into initially, right? We were in a classroom in like the 1930s
Mm-hmm.
when that all launched because it was this lady that apparently made the tool that we ended up using to go into the movie as opposed to watching the movie.
Yes.
Yeah, we didn't realize there was a thing we had to do, so he's like, and all you have to do is flip
Pull
the
the
lever.
lever.
And then we're just standing there staring.
And I'm like, oh, there it is.
And then after a while, I was like, oh, Dave, there's a lever in front of you. You got to pull it.
I couldn't have been more clueless.
I just
was
walked right in front of Dave
I was
and did it.
standing in one place and trying not to fall down.
Were you
or
looking
throw
around
up.
at all? Because when you look around, it's really cool. There's like in the classroom setting when you're piloting the nanobot.
Yeah.
You look to your left and your right. Well, not in that setting, but when you're in the classroom, there's a person in a pod next to you and to your
Yeah.
left and right.
Yeah.
I thought you did extremely well for having never done any like VR type stuff or even like put on a headset like that before.
It
I
was
thought you
cool.
did super, super well.
It was really cool.
It's great.
So, clock update. There's another clock that's broken in here now.
Okay.
And it's on the board.
Okay.
And unfortunately, it's the clock I look at all
Right.
the time.
Oh,
And I glanced down and it said we were at 43 past the hour.
That'd be
And
sweet.
and to be fair,
Time warp.
Matt Pajeski warned me of this as we were switching the studio over, but I forgot for a second and I looked down, I saw that, and I'm like, we're on the first segment and we've talked till 43. Like that felt like a bad dream, a nightmare I would have.
Well, you don't need clocks in the studio.
Do I need to communicate to you guys what time it is? Like, do you have any way to see the time in
I
here?
have the wide orbit clock.
yeah.
Okay.
And you can use like a time.gov thing if you want.
Okay.
Like throw that up on a web browser.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, we're just trying to
Anywho.
work around the fact that our digital clocks have been broken for a month and a half, 2 months.
So, busy show today. Coming up at 1:30, Jennifer Bardot, who is on about 2 months ago, is going to be back with us. She's an author and an entrepreneur. Alexa Dat, who does pre- and post-game for the Cardinals on FanDuel, who we met. Kev, you probably have known her for a while, but I just met her about 2 weeks ago. I think she's great. And she'll be here live in studio. We have our friends from Grunt Style who have an event coming up the weekend of September 13th. The Liston brothers are going to be here to play. This is quite a show.
Mm-hmm.
Who put this one together? Is that you?
Something to do with it.
Nicely done. Like it. Let's talk about Smart Mouth. And I know we talk about it a lot, but there are probably thousands of you out there who have heard Rach and I talk about Smart Mouth, but you haven't bought it. I'm not going to force you. I'm not going to, I don't have something loaded up that is so mellifluous that you're just going to run out to Walgreens and get it. But I can tell you this, that if you've never used it, you've never really experienced truly fresh breath and a truly fresh mouth. If you have gingivitis like I do, get the gum health because it just knocks it. When I'm using that a couple times a day, I just don't have any blood at all when I spit out my toothpaste.
Yeah, what Dave's describing is the fact that Smart Mouth actually works. And frankly, that's not the case for most mouth rinses on the market. Smart Mouth uses science to eliminate your bad breath at the source. Every morning I brush, I floss, and then when I use Smart Mouth, it just creates this like straight from the dentist feeling that I've never gotten before when using any other mouth rinse out there. There is a Smart Mouth product to fit any walk of life. Check out all of their stuff at smartmouth.com/Glover.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-525-7718. 800-525-7718. 800-525-7718.
I hear from sellers all the time that they fear they have missed out on the selling market. They are so relieved to learn September, October, and November are strong selling months. With low inventory and hopefully lower interest rates, this fall will be a hot one for real estate. I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty. You may have heard me say, why pay more than $4 for years? Now it's why pay more than $2, saving you even more money. Call me 314-441-4444. And remember, why pay more than $2?
Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri, Kansas, and Nevada.
Hi, I'm Andrew McCollum, CEO of Philo, the streaming TV company that's proud to be different. At Philo, we put the audience first. It sounds simple, but how often are you frustrated just trying to watch TV? I run a streaming company, and even I can't figure it out. From hidden fees to impossible to break contracts to dozens of confusing apps, TV has gotten way too hard. So we set out to make it better. You want to watch live TV from the channels you've always loved, like Discovery, A&E, Nickelodeon, and more? Philo's got you covered. You want to discover something new from our library of over 80,000 movies and shows? Then save every episode for up to a year so you can skip all the ads? No problem. Your favorite show is over and you want to take a break from your subscription? We've made it as easy as possible, and you can still enjoy more than 100 free channels. We built Philo so that you can love the way you watch TV for a price you can afford. Because at Philo, we're TV fans too. Head to philo.tv/Andrew to start a free trial and see for yourself. That's philo.tv/Andrew.
1120 AM, 1041 FM, and streaming on the Odyssey app. KMOX is with you, however you listen, wherever you listen.
Welcome back, guys. DGS on KMOX. I cannot tell you how excited I am that it's almost fall. And I know I talked about this yesterday, but like it just, everything changes. Everything changes for me. The same way there are people who are just summer people. They just can't wait and they love it. They love the heat and going to the lake and all this stuff. I'm the opposite. And like on my TikTok now, I'm getting a whole bunch of it's almost Halloween, you know, that kind of stuff. And I watch it. Like, I will watch a 10-minute thing of just AI pumpkins and be like, pumpkin spice.
Same. Exactly the same.
Do you do it too?
Uh-huh. Makes me so happy. I love fall. Fall's the best. Get to go to a fun farm. Come on now.
Playoff baseball, guys in turtlenecks playing in October. You just got to love it.
I mean, it's a pretty good time of year.
Yeah.
I don't really. It's weird. I've never really been like baseball season's my favorite season because it's baseball, not so much the weather. Although the weather is, you got to play baseball in nice weather, generally speaking. But yeah, the fall's pretty great when you got the beginning of football. Pretty soon, you know, Blues training camp kicks in, and you know NBA follows that. So it's a cool time. I mean, my whole view of the calendar is not the weather. It's not the seasons. It's just the sports.
It's weird. It's weird how like baseball gets the summer pretty much all to itself, and then all the other sports rush in, like, you know, in the fall as baseball is winding down.
Yeah, I'm sure there was a reason for it back in the day, and having them opposites makes sense because when you're all young, you play every sport, right? You know, so it makes sense to do that and not constantly cannibalize all the sports fan viewership. But back when it was done, it was probably football trying to avoid baseball. like back when it started.
Yeah.
Because baseball at the time was the bigger of the two.
800-pound gorilla.
Yeah.
I want to talk about this with Bernie Miklasz at 4 p.m., but we're a long way from that. But I feel like, and there's no way to measure this, I just think anecdotally and just my gut is we're in this weird time with St. Louis baseball where it's become cool to be anti-Cardinals. Now, I differentiate this, pardon me, from people who are disappointed that the Cardinals are having this season and the last couple of seasons. I get it. And I empathize with people who think it's too expensive to go to a game. I got it. But for the people who are staying away because they think it's cool in some way, do you feel that at all? Like, you see way more social media.
Yeah,
than I do.
it's a mix. If I had to weigh it, that's the group you're talking about, Dave, is the loudest group. I don't think it's proportionately that big. Like, I don't think it's half of Cardinals fans. I don't even know if I would say it's a quarter. But it's super loud and it's nonstop. But there's definitely, I want to say this the right way. There's almost a sense of entitlement. Like, this can't happen to Cardinals baseball. Like, yeah, it can. It always happens to every team. Every team goes through down periods. You're just fortunate that you witnessed a 25-year up period. Like, that's what it is. And that doesn't mean you should be happy, because where they are is their own fault, and it could have been avoided with a little bit of forward view, as opposed to, like, being comfortable with doing things the way you'd always done them. Because there are a lot of us who cover the team that were asking all these questions, and we were asking them years ago. Mm-hmm. And, it's not that we were right. Like, it's not like we're geniuses. We were just seeing what everybody else was doing and going, you guys want to jump on board with all that?
How much of that do you think just ties into the general attitude that's out there of just like, it's cool to hate on St. Louis, particularly downtown St. Louis, and then the Cardinals not having the greatest couple of seasons are now getting wrapped up in that?
I think it's related.
It may be. It probably isn't with the group of people that we're talking about, but I think there's definitely a connection between those two things. Because, look, how much worse is the city now than it was 6 years ago?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it is, but it's not that much. I mean, you've been working down here forever. I've been working downtown for parts of the last 19 years, but I'd say like 13 of the last 19 years. And it doesn't strike me as that much worse than it used to be, except in a couple ways. Like, the driving is worse. People just blowing lights and all that. That's definitely worse. But, like, just the general feel of it, vibe of it, it's not that much different. What's different is the quality of the team. Nobody minded coming down when the team was winning divisions and making playoff runs.
Yeah. Well, I would say St. Louis downtown is considerably different than it was 20 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Mostly the number of people down here and, just human beings. But I would say that the ballpark experience is no different.
Not really, no.
Once you get to where you're going to park by the ballpark, it's...
No, in fact, the only thing that's different is that it's bigger and better with more stuff. I mean, Ballpark Village has blown up and grown into something
and
where...
For people like around where our office is, there are a lot of homeless people, which can freak people out, which I get. But downtown, like, at most, you'll see one or two people across from the ballpark with a little sign.
It's not that common over there.
No one approaches you. So, Tell you guys about the Gelman team, and obviously I'm completely... ingrained with the Gelman team. Mark and Neil have become good friends of mine over the years. We do a lot of philanthropic stuff. They're great to their community. They're great to their employees. But what you care about is you. And what you care about is, okay, if I decide to sell my house this fall or winter, or if I have to, could be you're moving or divorcing or something like that. I'm fallible. I can be wrong, but I mean it genuinely when I say I can't imagine someone being much better at real estate than these guys are. They take you by the hand. They lead you down the path you need to go. They give you great advice. They're master negotiators, so I can't say enough good things about them. Find out what they think your house is worth right now by going to the front page of thegelmanteam.com or call 314-336-1991.
Certain restrictions apply.
Wake up informed. Wake up empowered. Wake up to Total Information AM, your morning must.
Hi, this is Debbie Monterey.
I'm Megan Lynch.
This is Tom Ackerman.
From local news to breaking headlines to weather, traffic, and the stories that matter most, we've got you covered before your first sip of coffee. Expert analysis, bright perspectives from the people you trust. Total Information AM. Your day starts here. Mornings beginning at 5 on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
It's Trish. Your bathroom might be small, but fixing it can feel huge. Outdated fixtures, the tub that's seen better days. At Michael's Bath, they specialize in affordable bathroom remodeling that fits your budget and your lifestyle. Whether you want a walk-in shower, better storage, or a fresh modern look, they make it simple, clean, and budget-friendly. No surprises, no gimmicks, just quality workmanship you can trust. Call Michael's Bath today for your free, no-pressure estimate. 636-775-0800 or michaelsbath.com.
Dave Murray's weather forecast is sponsored by Sachs Financial.
We'll keep an eye on the sky, especially between 4 p.m. and 9 p.m. today, for a couple of scattered thunderstorms as a strong cold front moves our way. Partly sunny skies otherwise. But it is the warmest of the week by far, 87 for the high, not anticipating anything severe. Then tonight, scattered showers and thunderstorms into the evening, 56 for the overnight low as winds eventually turn to the northwest. Thursday, gorgeous, partly to mostly sunny and 75. Friday, another cold front late in the day, partly sunny, couple of spot storms, 78, 70s through the weekend. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Hey, it's Jeff Sachs at Sachs Financial. Did you know that you have a pension and there are ways to maximize how you take it? That's right. It's called Social Security. Find out more at retiresafestl.com/guide. That's retiresafestl.com/guide.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Severe from Vicks.
Sinex Severe nasal spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Severe instantly relieves nasal congestion and works 6 times faster than nasal decongestant tablets. The 12 hours of relief allow you to get back to the moments that matter without congestion.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Try Sinex Severe from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take Dayquil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the Dayquil.
Undo your flu symptoms with Dayquil Intense Flu. Dayquil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
Dayquil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
With new treatments in the fight against Alzheimer's, now is the time for action. Join the St. Louis Walk to End Alzheimer's Saturday, October 25th at Chesterfield Amphitheater. Help us see a world without Alzheimer's. Register today, alz.org/walk.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson. Paid for by Action Matters. Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out.
Attention parents of children who have used the gaming platform known as Roblox. If your child was a victim of sexual abuse or harm of any kind while using the Roblox platform, you may be entitled to compensation. Roblox is facing multiple high-profile lawsuits, including an ongoing class action, alleging it failed to protect users from foreseeable dangers that led to the grooming, exploitation, and sexual abuse of minors on the platform. Claims allege Roblox turned a blind eye to predators, unsafe games, and deceptive monetization practices that targeted children. Victims were contacted through in-game chats and coerced into private conversations on third-party apps. If you believe your child may have been a victim of grooming, sexual abuse, or harm of any kind while using the Roblox platform, you may be entitled to a cash settlement. Text our helpline now to find out if you have a viable compensation claim against Roblox. Text GONE to 32 32 32. That's GONE to 32 32 32. GONE to 32 32 32.
Cards manager Ollie Marble joins the Gas House Gang every Tuesday at noon. Sponsored by Siteman Cancer Center on the voice of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 1041 FM KMOX. Happy Wednesday to you. If you are watching us on the stream, the beautiful woman you see in the lower right is Jennifer Bardot. She was with us a few weeks ago. We have a mutual friend, Jeff Fitter from Super Smokers fame, my former barbecue partner, and so we've become friends. I invited her to be back on the show. Author, entrepreneur. You can Google her. Check out grit, growth, intention, resilience, tenacity. I think I got those mixed up.
You did.
I think I
You got
spelled
it.
something else. I think I spelled a dirty word.
Uh-oh.
So good to see you again.
It's gritty.
Welcome back.
Good. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As I was telling the guys, you were no help at all when I asked what you want to talk about, and you're like, I don't know.
I'm an open book. Just ask.
It's fine.
So, yep.
So let's start out with
Sure.
a proper introduction by yourself to the audience in case people didn't hear you a month ago.
Okay, cool. So I am a serial entrepreneur. I've published 7 international best-selling anthologies, and I have a women's group that I lead here in St. Louis to just really help and empower women with amplifying their voices and, pushing through the suck, sharing hard stories so those can always find a way out, that there's always options. So
Yeah.
I do that. I have a jewelry line. I'm actually on Blue Info too. I have Elevate and Lead show, and then I just took over as publisher for Webster Groves magazine. So
Kind of a slacker.
Yeah, and I got 3 boys.
Yeah.
It's called ADHD.
You're making me feel really, really bad about myself. I
Not
do
true.
this and I lay on the couch.
There you go.
So,
Hey, whatever
yeah.
works.
Yeah, that's my side
Yeah,
hustle.
yeah.
So I know a little bit about you from just knowing you and researching you, and I know that you have dyslexia.
I do, yeah. Mhm.
And when we talked before, like I was asking you because I don't. It's one of the things I don't
Yep.
have. But I was asking like, what does that feel like inside
it sucks. It's a challenge every day. Like, I think that's why I constantly push myself to do the things that I hate doing, which is reading and writing and publishing books. So it's like you think of a word and you can't figure out what that word is. So you have to think of like 12 other words with the same meaning. And yeah, it's just a challenge every day. So if you've seen my post on LinkedIn, thankfully AI cleans it up, but a lot of time it's just like not grammatically correct, or it's the wrong word with the wrong meaning. But it's
Is
not
it-
what I'm actually seeing or
Is it
saying.
Alzheimer's? That you're
It is.
trying to think of a word, you just can't get it?
No, like it's right there, and it's not like the same word that I'm always missing. It's always a different word all the time. And generally it's with the same first letter. So that's where I really get hung up. Like if I'm texting, it'll be like, I'm thinking of fish, but I type face, because of the F. And then after I review it, I'm like, oh, it's the wrong word.
Yeah.
So it's kind of trippy.
Did you have good educational support when you were little, or did people just think you were dumb?
Well, my mom was always my backbone, but I do think they thought I was dumb, and I was always, in the resource room, so I looked like I was
remember
dumb
the
too.
resource room.
So yeah, but I constantly didn't want to tell anybody that I had a disability. I didn't want any extra help. I didn't want any extra support. So yeah.
So would that version of you be surprised at what you're doing today?
Absolutely. I didn't even think I was going to graduate from high school. So I didn't have any really belief in myself that I was intelligent, but my mom kept having my IQ tested to really show that there's a deficit, and it's just something we have to figure out. So yeah. No, I would have never thought this would be my life. So
what did you plan in college? What was your...
Well, as a first-generation college student, I was kind of just thinking I'd go into business because all my family owns businesses. So I thought, hey, I can do that. So that's essentially what I thought. But then I realized I like people and I like helping. So then that's where the psychology came from, and just, the master's in counseling and all that kind of stuff. So...
Rachel, you feeling the same thing I'm feeling? Like, I feel so different from Jennifer. Like, we know each other well enough that we have lots in common, but her whole, like, well... I knew I could go into business. I've never known I could do anything. Like, I promise you, I've never had the thought like, well, clearly I can do this. It's always been like, well, you don't have a chance in hell at that.
Well, it's like the only option, right? It was like, hey, I can sell Girl Scout cookies. I can start selling anything. So
It's cool though, because you do feel empowered to take these things on, and then you've kind of taken that and turned it around, and now you're helping to empower other people with what you do.
I think it's fallen on your face so many times where it's just like, I have resiliency and I can handle rejection and defeat. So it's like, why not just try it and see if it works or it doesn't, So, and then you learn more about yourself on that way.
Yeah.
So.
Were you ever afraid of rejection? Was that something you had to overcome, or has it always been easier for you?
I was raised in a family where you had to have thick skin. So I think it's kind of been ingrained in who I am. I mean, I'm never going to say that I'm not fearful of anything. Like even this weekend, I was driving the 4-wheelers and it just rained and I'm trying to drive it up up this hill, and I'm like, are we going to make it? I'm like, we're going to make it. So I don't know. It's just kind of that mindset of making sure that there's a little bit of fear, and that's the exciting part, but just believing in yourself and then just pushing your limits. So
I just saw something because a lot of the work that Jennifer does is with women. And I knew this, and we've talked about it on the show before, but I saw the factoid again, and it just blows me away that 1974 was the first year that women were allowed to get a credit card in their own name. Before that, it had to be in their husband's name.
Yeah.
I was 10. Like, this is not ancient history. In my lifetime, women couldn't get a credit card. What does that do to you as someone who makes their living empowering women? It has to just...
Well, you know, I saw both dynamics. I saw my grandma who didn't even graduate from high school. She got married when she was 16, had babies at 18, and she was a stay-at-home wife, which all kudos. That takes a lot of courage, but she didn't have any desire to have a life outside of that. And then I saw my mom who stepped in and like put herself through night class and was a top F&I producer in the car industry. She was just hard, right? So as I saw both of those dynamics, I knew I wanted both. Like I wanted the family. I also wanted to have the career and the success. But it's like, in order to level up, we have to look at those that have paved the path before us. And I'm grateful because it gave me perspective and it helped me shape like what I wanted. And I want to empower our youth. And that's like actually my next mission. So
yeah, tell me about that. What are you concerned about with young girls?
I just, you know, there's so many people that are out on social media feeding girls with bad, you know, I don't know, representation about what is okay for women and what is not okay. And generally it's all about body image and they don't see their worth beyond their beauty. And it's like, why can't you have it all? Why can't you have brains and beauty? You know, you can have a career and still have a family, and it's just about balance. So really teaching our girls that, you know, respect yourself and see what you're capable of doing and just do those hard things.
Yeah. Let's have that. We've had this discussion, Rach, with you, and let's have it with all of us. As a middle-aged dude, I only understand it from my side of the fence. But it seems to me that I've never been bombarded with more images of women, like TikTok and just everywhere. Mm-hmm. And I know that there's a sentiment out there that like, yeah, women are taking back our bodies and we're going to show them when we want to show them, and it's empowering and so forth. But you're still showing your body to a whole bunch of guys that are, you know, like no guys thinking like, good for you, you're empowering.
You're so smart.
Like, look at those boobs. I mean, it just seems like a conundrum to me.
Yeah, I don't know about that balance. I don't know. I guess I have a more conservative views with that. I really think that you should put yourself like first in regards to like your brain, you know? So I don't know. I have a different stance.
I mean, what about for young women? Like, what does that say? Phoebe's 20.
Yeah.
She's right in the wheelhouse of that, you know?
Yeah. I just think it shows that you have more worth, you know? You shouldn't have to put your body on display to have someone take interest in you. You know, you should really figure out, hey, I'm interested in this and you're interested in that, and like have those conversations, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just interesting. And like my whole passion with owning your grit for our youth is really helping them identify the times that they've had to be resilient, so then they can say, hey, the next level is going to be that much more easier because I've built that much thicker skin.
Yeah.
So, because in this world of technology, it seems as though everything's so instantaneous. So there hasn't been a lot of like resilience that's been built up with these kids. They just get what they want when they want it.
Yeah, that's a good point. We're talking to Jennifer Bardot. She's the author of Grit, Growth, Resilience, Intention, and Tenacity. And I was reading through some of your stuff, and I thought it was an interesting point that you're making, that it's one thing to empower people and to motivate them, but it's another that you were talking about that a lot of women have trouble identifying their strengths. Like, okay, I'm ready. Jennifer, let's go get them, but I don't know what I'm good at.
Well, it's interesting. Like, here's these incredible leaders that I've featured in these books. There's like 275 of them. And every time I reach out to them, I'm like, hey, you want to share your story? They're like, I don't have a story. And I'm like, yeah, you do. Like, take the time to reflect and like see your journey, and like everything that you've gone through has shaped you into who you are. And that is a powerful story. And that's the whole purpose of Grit, is to really create this like blueprint of other options when people are feeling stuck and they have no other options. So I think it is really powerful when women actually take the time to reflect, to see all that they've gone through to push themselves to that next level. And what you see happen is they do that self-reflection, and all of a sudden they're like re-sparked and re-energized, and then they level up with whatever it is meaningful for them.
Yeah.
So.
And you have boys.
I do.
Young boys.
Yeah, I'm not a feminist. I love my boys.
What do you, if it is intentional, which is a part of your title, What do you want to teach them about women, about girls?
Well, I really think it's important to show that, one, women need to be respected, right? We're equals and we have a place in this world outside of the home, you know? So really, I teach my boys that I'm capable of doing anything that they're capable of doing and just really setting those dynamics. But, you know, sometimes those old school principles seep in and my boys are like, well, Mom. And then sometimes they forget that I am a woman. I'm like, dude, I don't want to do that. So go hang with Grandpa, you know? So I don't know. I just think it's good that you teach our youth that we're both capable of all things. Gender doesn't really matter, you know? Just do what you desire and like find your interest and your value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that. I remember being in like first or second grade, which would have been in the early 70s, and the big push for feminism and equal rights. And I remember the teacher making the point to all of this, like, now girls are just as good as you. And I was flabbergasted because Wendy Dresch was so much smarter than me. And I was like, why are you telling us this? Like,
I was like, we know.
Friggin' duh. Have you seen Michelle Hanfelter spell? Like, it's just funny that I have that distinct memory of
That's
just wondering,
awesome.
like, why do you have to tell anyone this? I don't get it.
And I was the weird girl who couldn't read and write, which I was an oddball for most girls because usually that's their strength.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What are you still afraid of? Or what do you
Oh, there's
still try to
tons.
conquer?
I actually think it's that insecurity within myself of just really always struggling with not feeling like you're enough because there's a disability that I'll have till I die. So it's like, well, there it is. So let's spotlight that until I can no longer feel insecure.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
How do people find the book?
Amazon, Kindle, Barnes & Noble, Walmart.
Do you do private coaching as well?
Yeah, I do. I do grit coaching and then I do individual as well. Yeah.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Always great to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
It's back, and you're invited to join us in Forest Park, September 19th and 20th, for the 53rd Annual Great Forest Park Balloon Race Weekend, presented by PNC Bank. Attendance is free, and the number of memories and photos you can capture is endless. Special thanks to New Ground International and Blue Moon Brewing Company. The 53rd Annual Great Forest Park Balloon Race Weekend. For more details, visit the events page at kingmox.com.
Retiring soon? Get the information you need by joining Kyle Jones and Matt Allgeier of Fire Capital Management for your retirement highway, Sunday mornings at 9:30. Investment advisory services made available through Pine Ridge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Securities made available through AE Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Hey St. Louis, this is Ben Barnett, board certified master arborist and owner at Timberline Professional Tree Care. As a local small business owner for the past 24 years, I always do my best to shop local and support our community. Recently, 2 of the largest tree contractors in the region have sold to out-of-town investment groups. This means that the new owners of these companies are not invested in quality, customer satisfaction, or safety, except for how it affects their bottom line. Timberline Professional Tree Care was founded in 2001 and is focused solely on giving you, the customer, the safest, highest quality product while providing the best customer service before, during, and after the job. I've poured my heart and soul into tree care for the past 24 years, and we aren't going anywhere. When it comes time to take care of your trees, I ask that you shop local and call me, Ben Barnett, at Timberline Professional Tree Care, 636-479-7475, or online at stltreecare.com.
So I'm going to start out my live endorsement, my daily, sometimes twice a day, live endorsement for Dr. Maupin, and just say thank you to all of my clients and Kevin's and Rachel's, because, I mean, we're doing a radio show, but let's all be honest with each other. We're here to sell you stuff, just like television and newspapers. And so the fact that we have people who are willing to write checks every month for us to give messages to you, it's pretty amazing. I've been with Dr. Maupin for going on 20 years now. We've been friends a long time. She's a medical doctor. She's delivered thousands and thousands of babies. Good chance she delivered yours out there. And then she switched over to doing pretty much all the testosterone replacement stuff because she believes in it so much. She was affected by it. She's very open that about 16 years ago she had a hysterectomy and it had a very bad reaction to it and got depressed and gained a bunch of weight. Found this the pellets, which I get now, which she still does, and it just turned everything around. It makes a huge difference. It's well worth the money. And then right next door is BioBalance Skin, where they make your face look as good as possible for your age without making you look goofy. That's BioBalanceHealth.com. Welcome back, DGS on KMOX. Anybody get their Powerball tickets?
No.
Ooh, is it that time of year?
Yeah, it's one of the biggest ones of all time. It's like $1.4 billion.
Whoa.
And we do this every time that this happens. I guess everyone does. But I only buy them when it's like this much money, which is dumb, kind of crazy on both ends. But here's why. It's because I don't want to feel stupid tomorrow when someone wins and I didn't even buy a ticket. Does that make sense?
Sure.
So what I'm buying,
FOMO.
I'm really not buying a chance to win $1 billion. I'm buying off my regret of not having been in the game.
But how would you even, I guess, I get you.
Yeah.
Can't win if you don't try.
Right. And if I don't buy a ticket today and someone wins tonight, I know it wouldn't have been me anyway, but it's going to gnaw at me.
Right, because if the ticket is sold in Biloxi, Mississippi,
and let me
you'd be
tell
like,
you
well,
this too. There are millions of people in the St. Louis area, and hundreds of thousands of them will buy a Powerball. If I get up in the morning and the news says like, hey, the lucky ticket came from St. Louis, I know I've won. I know it's me.
Dave's like, it's time.
You don't even have to check.
Even if they said like it was sold at this the Phillips 66.
I might have been there.
Yeah.
You know, I might have been there.
What do you even do when you win the lottery?
Hide.
Yeah.
Like, who do you tell?
Lawyers,
the
accountants.
lottery people.
Who is that?
It's on the ticket, I'm sure.
How would one even find them?
It's on the ticket.
These mysterious benefactors.
Andrew wins the lottery and then
He's like,
can't figure it out.
Can't figure it out.
Can't figure it out.
This is
Guess
too
I don't
much
win.
work.
Yeah.
Never mind.
If Megan's out of town, there's no hope for it. It's going in the trash.
That money's going back in the pool.
Yeah, I don't think I have bought any Powerball since Trish left the show because she was always the one who would encourage us. And I mean, her logic always made sense to me. It was basically what you spelled out was just like you don't want to be left out if someone wins. So.
I've only ever bought one, and that was when Trish said, "I will never forgive you if you don't buy this."
That's
right now."
probably the most. Like Trish and I are really close, and that's probably the most mad I've ever seen her.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? Okay.
Well, because if I remember correctly, Andrew was still expecting a cut of the winnings, even though he hadn't bought
Right.
it.
Yeah, we were all doing the.
Yes.
If I won, I would give you $10,000. I would give this person $100,000, and Andrew was on Trish's list, but Andrew never buys tickets. And so she got really mad. Like, well, why are you on my list if you're not even...
I was banking on this wild and crazy idea called friendship, and that was, like, very silly. I was like, no. It's not. It's much more cutthroat than that.
No. There's equity in friendships.
You guys would be on my list if I won because we are friends and I care about you, whether or not you bought a ticket or not.
It would be like if I bought you lunch all the time, and you. No, never mind. It would be like
I have bought you lunch.
I know you have, but no, it's an equitable thing.
It's an equitable thing for sure,
She's
but
saving
like
space for you.
But I. It wasn't a transactional thing to me. Like Trish would be on my list because I love Trish and she's my friend.
You don't have a list because you don't buy a ticket.
I have a list.
You can't have a list if you're not buying the list means nothing.
See, now Rachel's remembering that was the thing that Trish really got mad at me about. Was that I was like, you guys are all on my list,
but you
and
don't
she
buy
pointed
a
out
ticket,
that I
so
don't buy a
the
ticket.
list is pointless.
It could just happen.
Brian M says, "Got to put a little skin in the game, Andrew."
Yeah.
I don't have that much skin. I need all my skin.
You have $1.
Just think of it this way: one less energy drink can buy you the Powerball tickets.
Change your whole life.
I need those. Without those, I could feel good and healthy.
You said that like you were 10. You're like, I need those.
For real, if you won hundreds of millions, would you give us any?
Yes, of course.
Of course he would.
Absolutely, I would.
About how much?
I was thinking at least $100,000 is sort of like for the people that are like my loved ones, but not like the most important people. Like like I'll give my dad like $1 million or whatever, right? But you guys at least $100K. Anything less than that is insulting. If I win 100,
not the most important.
If I win $100 million and I don't give
I've just never had anyone say it. So
you're important to me, not that important.
Well, I mean, not as important as my dad.
You didn't raise
You guys
me.
are totally
I mean, he kind of did. Kind of raised me a little bit, but it's like if you win $100 million, if you give your friends anything less than $100K, that is a slap in the face to them.
How many friends though? How many friends? That's the thing.
I mean, as many friends as you get to $100 million.
What if you have
100K is like what 1% of less than a tenth of a percent?
Netted $400 million. I would feel like I needed to give away 10% of it to friends.
Absolutely,
sure,
at least that much.
So do the math.
Just saying, you got to make sure. Are all friends same level?
No.
Yeah.
No, like that's the Trish thing.
Yeah,
You're
that's
gonna
the
have
hard
it-
part,
You're
right.
gonna have a tier, and just like being invited to a wedding, someone's on the bubble.
Yeah.
Someone's going to be the last person to not get anything.
Yeah. Did you make the rule that if you ask, you don't get it? But if you don't ask, I'm going to take care of you.
That's interesting. That's an interesting thought. I do think you shouldn't ask someone when they win the lottery. for
Yeah.
money.
Hey, buddy, could you get? Yeah.
That's why you ask preemptively, like now.
Yeah, we set this up.
Tell you guys about Michael's Baths, and again, it's one of those businesses that most of you are not going to use this week. It's a business that most of you are going to use in your lifetime. It's kind of rare that people go 40 or 50 years with the exact same bathroom. Even my mom and dad, did the 1970s version of remodeling the bathrooms. So when that is on your plate, talk to anyone you want. Talk to Bathfitter, talk to 3 Day Kitchen and Bath, but before you sign on the dotted line, talk to Mike. Know that he does virtually the same stuff that they do, same sort of products. I think much better workmanship and much better service, but he's going to be up to 50% less than the aforementioned companies. If you are a disabled veteran, you can get the bathroom for little or no money out of your pocket because of your sacrifice to your country and a VA benefit. 636-775-0800, michaelsbaths.com.
Mint is still $15 a month for premium wireless. And if you haven't made the switch yet, here are 15 reasons why you should. 1, it's $15 a month. 2, seriously, it's $15 a month. 3, no big contrast. 4, I use it. 5, my mom uses it. Are you playing me off? That's what's happening, right? Okay.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, $15 per month equivalent required. New customer offer first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
Here's the tale of the daily Medfield. Same old pharmacy, same old bill, but those prices kept rising higher still.
Till the savings wrangler rode in, cool as can be. Tap GoodRx, saving massively.
No plan? Don't matter none. Up to 80% off. The deals are done.
Discounts hitting harder than Ma's chili. Dang. That one little app does all the rest.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different,
Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Millions are choosing NordVPN to stay safer online. Get NordVPN today with 77% off and up to 3 months extra. NordVPN will encrypt your online traffic and help you avoid phishing, scams, and malware. Get the special NordVPN deal today at nordvpn.com. This offer includes a 77% discount on a 2-year plan and up to 3 extra months. Savings and additional terms apply and can be found on nordvpn.com. The offer is valid until October 15th.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. You know, when you go to the Audiology Center, you'll see a doctor of audiology. And with us right now, Dr. Colleen Bosler. Dr. Bosler, what are some of the signs of hearing loss?
Well, it's a number of things. Sometimes loved ones notice a person asking others to repeat themselves, or the television is too loud. What people tend to notice first with hearing loss is the loss of clarity. They can hear people talking, but they cannot always understand what's being said. That's because the hearing loss can cause you to miss certain consonant sounds, and those consonant sounds give us the detail to the word. A hearing aid can help bring back those details and give you a sense of clarity that you're missing.
Dr. Colleen Bosler at the Audiology Center with 3 locations in the greater St. Louis area. Call for an appointment, 636-441-7470. Online, theaudiologycenterstl.com.
News, talk, cards. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
It's a sunny sky and 87 degrees at the moment downtown at the Arch. Missouri lawmakers are meeting today in a special session to redraw congressional lines. Republicans are aiming to break up the 5th congressional district held by Kansas City Democrat Emanuel Cleaver. He's represented that district for nearly 21 years and tells MissouriNet some of the Republicans are his friends.
Naturally, the worst part of this is people that I know and like are going to probably have to, in their minds, follow what the president has ordered.
The special session is expected to run at least a week. Childhood vaccines for polio, or measles, not required in Florida anymore.
Florida Surgeon General Dr. Joseph Ladapo cast current requirements in schools and elsewhere as immoral.
Every last one of them is wrong and drips with disdain and slavery.
He says his department will work with lawmakers to make it happen.
They do not have the right to tell you what you put in your body. They don't have the right to tell you what your kids have to put in your body. They do not have the right. Do not give it to them. Take it away from them.
Matt Piper, CBS News.
President Trump says he'll deploy troops to Chicago, but isn't saying when. Illinois Senator Dick Durbin was asked on CNN whether he thinks it would make a difference to have some help from the National Guard to fight crime there.
It certainly could, but the starting point is this. Local officials, like a governor and a mayor, can work with federal officials to be more effective in reducing crime. That's a given. I accept that. But in the situation in Chicago, this is not a negotiation any way whatsoever.
CBS News correspondent Nancy Cordes says New Orleans is the latest city mentioned for a possible deployment of troops for the stated purpose of fighting crime.
He says that in Louisiana, as opposed to Illinois, the governor is actually inviting him in. It's a Republican governor who has, the president says, has urged Trump to send the National Guard to New Orleans. The New Orleans mayor may not feel the same way.
Developers and residents have long complained about the complicated zoning process in the city of St. Louis. The city is launching a months-long process of upgrading its land use regulations. St. Louis zoning administrator Mary Hart Burton says the current code is decades old and complicated to navigate.
I think the main goal is for everyone from the developer who wants to do 200 plus units to the citizen that just wants to replace their back porch to be able to pick up the code and follow it and have some security in knowing that they understand the code and they can do it without multiple trips to City Hall or multiple hearings that hold it up.
A complete draft is expected at the end of next summer. There's an open house tonight at the Forest Park Visitor Center at 5. The new tariffs have yet to push car prices higher.
Many experts had warned we'd be suffering from sticker shock by now. Brian Moody, the executive editor of Kelley Blue Book, says automakers have absorbed their tariff costs so far.
They're either spread out across multiple vehicles or they're put in different places that don't look like the retail price went up that much.
Like higher destination fees or higher interest rate offers. But Moody says that will only work for so long.
We're going to end up paying more one way or the other. It's just that it's not super obvious to the average person what that increase is.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
The Dow from Stifel down 233 points.
We'll keep an eye on the sky, especially between 4 p.m. and 9 p.m. today, for a couple of scattered thunderstorms as a strong cold front moves our way. Partly sunny skies otherwise, but it is the warmest of the week by far. 87 for the high, not anticipating anything severe. Then tonight, scattered showers and thunderstorms into the evening. 56 for the overnight low as winds eventually turn to the northwest. Thursday, gorgeous, partly to mostly sunny and 75. Friday, another cold front late in the day, partly sunny. Couple of spot storms, 78, 70s through the weekend. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
Sponsored by FanDuel Sports Network. Cardinals fans, FanDuel Sports Network is your TV and streaming home of the Cardinals. Subscribe directly to FanDuel Sports Network and stream the Cardinals or watch through your TV provider. Visit FanDuelSportsNetwork.com for details. It's 83 downtown. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 1041 FM KMOX. Happy Wednesday. Happy September. Star-studded show today. We have Alexa Datt in studio. You can see her by going to Facebook or YouTube and checking out the stream. I was telling Alexa, I met her briefly about a month ago, and then today's the first day really meeting her. But I'm so used to being the celebrity and people being like, oh, my God, I've listened to you for 25 years. Or it's so weird to see you move in 3 dimensions. And that's how I feel about Alexa. Like, I watch you every pre and post. You do an excellent job. And as I told you the first time we met, I loved your play-by-play. I thought that was so cool.
Well, I really appreciate it. I love coming in here to be on KMOX. You guys, I've listened to you for the 4 years that I've been here, and to be able to now be kind of a part of the KMOX family is really, really fun. So thanks for having me in.
So tell your story. Like you told us a little bit off the air, but just give us the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm from the East Coast originally, so I grew up kind of broadcasting in high school. I played field hockey and softball. I loved sports, so I was the sports editor, and then I became the editor-in-chief of my high school newspaper. Went to the University of Maryland and switched over to broadcast there, and then fell in love with doing this business, and I've never done anything else. I mean, odd jobs here and there, like coached little kids soccer when I moved up to New York just to make ends meet because I was kind of, a part-timer when I moved from Maryland up to New York, and I did some waitressing here and there too to make some extra money, but it's always been this business for me. And I've been in it for 20 years, and it's really awesome to see it evolve and change and grow. But in New York, doing it for 12 years there at MLB Network or MLB.com or Bleacher Report or SiriusXM, wherever they had me, I loved it. I thrived. I had so much fun doing it. And now doing it here in St. Louis for the past 4 years, it's just a continuation of that.
What did you think of St. Louis or the Cardinals before you got the job?
My impressions were very similar to where I grew up, kind of the suburbs, big town sort of feel that loved sports. I mean, I grew up a Washington Redskins fan, now the Commanders, and they live and die with their football team. And they were telling me that's exactly what it is here, but with baseball and then obviously hockey too.
Yeah.
And that just made so much sense to me when I got here. I was like, oh yeah, I get it. If you're obsessed with sports, I'm going to understand you as a people, you know? Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the people you work with too is just amazing. I mean, like, Al Raboski, when I was...
He's not as nice as he seems.
Oh, I know.
Just kidding.
I know.
They call him the bad Hungarian for a reason. No,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. He is the nicest human on the planet.
Isn't he?
Literally.
Just don't put him on the
Oh
mound.
my gosh, yeah.
He goes right back into being mean when he's on the mound.
Oh, I'm so excited to celebrate him this week for the Hall of Fame induction. He deserves all of it and more. It's a long time coming. The fact that he's going to be wearing that red jacket, I can just picture him in it and have for years.
Yeah.
So when he's actually going to put it on, it's going to feel complete.
He's the ultimate ambassador.
That's right.
He's just so great.
Yeah.
When I was 10 years old, Wheels, I was playing Sandlot. I was pitching, and I was pitching just like Al Raboski, thinking no one would clock that.
Slamming the glove.
And all my friends
Were you rolling all the baseballs back to the umpires? Like, no, I want another one.
And instantly my friends are like, what a douche. They're like, well, you and of course, I'm like, what are you talking about? Just the way I play.
Yeah. It helps to throw hard when you do that, because then everybody's freaking out.
Oh, I throw hard.
Yeah. No, I'm saying it helps.
What was your average velo?
Probably about the same as now, about 50.
Okay. Yeah, that's good.
He's like, I'm under the speed limit. I got to get a ticket. Don't worry.
I was always I played my whole life, not like Wheels. He played at Miami. But yeah, I was like an infielder with a really hard throwing sidearm. And I pitched a little bit, but I've never thrown a curveball in my life.
Yeah.
No one ever taught me to throw a curveball.
Yeah.
So I would just
I was just down in Miami, by the way, for that series. I'd never been to that ballpark before. Sitting with John Jay and looking out in this dome, it was a very interesting experience.
It's a weird spot there. I mean, that used to be the Orange Bowl where
Right.
that is, right?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
And that's where I grew up. I mean, not grew up, but that's where I went to all the football games when I was in college in
Totally.
the 90s. And it's weird knowing that ballpark is in that same place where all the cool football stuff happened. But, it's funny. It is a weird ballpark, isn't it? Because it's kind of like...
Well, Garrett Hampson, who played, for the Marlins, was telling me that you got to watch out for the lights as a corner outfielder, and getting a pop up there with the dome kind of throws you off, and just so many bizarre things that happen that you don't deal with in other.
At least they removed the sculpture.
I actually kind of liked that, if I'm being honest. Come on,
You remember it,
do
Dave,
something
right?
weird and
The
fun
left
and
center.
different.
Yeah.
Well, now it's just out in the parking lot, just hanging out by itself.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad.
Yeah, it's a weird... The whole thing is weird.
What about the fish tank? That was cool.
That's
They
good.
took that out.
Yeah, that was good. I like that. I like that about what I love about ballparks, and Busch has got its own little things that fit this.
Yeah.
It's those little differences, right?
Totally.
The Green Monster's one thing. Obviously, Yankee Stadium's its own thing, but I love the warehouse at Camden Yards. I just think that's such a cool look. I've always grown up loving the ballparks that have that's the cool thing about Wrigley. That's the cool thing about, and here it's a million things. I mean, it's the view, right? You've got the arch right behind center field. It could not look more perfect when you're sitting there.
It's so cool.
But it's a ballpark that has its own characteristics and its own look. Like when you hit one into Big Mac land, it looks like a bomb.
Yeah.
Because it's cool. I mean, you've got the upper levels to reach there. I think every ballpark that's like that, it has those little unique things is cool. That's why I love the swimming pool in Arizona.
So weird. So weird.
Yeah.
And bizarre, but awesome. I mean, same thing with PNC Park. When you look out and you see Roberto
that's a lot like
Clemente,
here when it comes
it's
to that,
so
yeah.
beautiful. Yeah, and with the arch, I mean, architecturally, it's just stunning, the backdrop. And that's what you want in baseball. I mean, I'm a Nationals fan. I was an Orioles fan growing up. I was at 21-31 when Cal Ripken broke Lou Gehrig's streak, which is actually being celebrated. I think the anniversary of it is on
up
Saturday.
Yep.
Yeah. And they're going to make a big deal about it, and that's going to be really fun. But being at that game and watching the 21-31 come down on that building was, kind of part of my childhood. That's part of baseball lore for me.
It's pretty great.
But yeah, but being able to be in these historic ballparks is just been so fun. And then I became a Nationals fan when they came to town, right? And then all of a sudden it was like, where's the backdrop? Where's the view?
Yeah.
They positioned the ballpark in the wrong space. It was supposed to look out, and you're supposed to have this
DC,
this incredible Capitol
Big
building, and
mistake.
then they just got it so wrong.
So we're talking to Alexa Datt here. If you're tuning in, I get in trouble for my boss for not reintroducing people.
Yeah.
But I get this. Like if you're tuning in and you're like, who is this? Who is this?
Yeah.
This is so cool. Alexa, of course, is with FanDuel and does pre and post and lots of packages and stuff. What do you do in the off season?
I do kind of whatever comes my way, a little bit of hockey,
Yeah.
a little bit of basketball. I play a lot of tennis indoors, which is great. And the fact that you can play into the fall and winter here with the weather. The one thing people always complain about here in St. Louis is the weather. I love it. I'm one of those weirdos. Like people say to me, do you like Emo's Pizza? I'm like, I don't hate it. People are like, you either love it or you hate it. No, I'm okay with it. Like, I'm fine with it. I'm not one way or the other. Same way with the weather.
I don't
People
have
are
to
like,
declare.
We hate the weather here. It's so humid. I'm like, no, I'm in. I'm so weird. That's fine. But I'm so into the humidity and the heat and how far into the cold seasons that you can be outside. That's so wonderful. I love that.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Alexa, it's so cool that you've been doing this for 20 years. But I have to ask, I mean, media is a difficult business to get into. Sports is tough to break into. And then on top of, I mean, you are a woman in sports. I'm just wondering, like, did you face any challenges getting to where you are now? Or have you, I would assume you've had to build up like a pretty tough skin doing what you do.
I grew up with 2 brothers and a really immature dad. So
can't identify, yeah.
They hurled all sorts of stuff at me, to toughen my skin for sure. And then, just a great group of people in this business. It started off with a lot of really incredible male mentors when I started off in the business. And then I've grown like an incredible group of female mentors and picked those up along the way, especially at MLB Network and then here in St. Louis. Every woman that you can reach out to here that's in the business, you can talk to them and really share your experience and feel comfortable and feel safe. It's wonderful.
That's really cool. Yeah, I have noticed just like following you on social media and like Katie Wu and like a bunch of different women in similar positions to what you do. It's so cool to see like the fellowship that you have and the fact you guys like each other and hang out. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, and we root for each other, right?
Yeah.
So it's Katie Wu and Emily Stevens, who works for the Cardinals, and Tamar Scher and Allie Overstreet. And we're kind of this group that we all are pulling for each other. We're always rooting for each other. We're always looking for opportunities for, each one of our strengths in order to kind of build this bond. And it's honestly been the thing that's helped me survive in this business for as long as I've been in it. And the thing that, kind of keeps me sane because I'm able to go to people and vent and it's a safe space. And they're just wonderful humans. They're funny, they're wild, they're crazy, but we all can have that time together and it's really cool.
So I referenced you doing the play-by-play in spring training, and there aren't many things like that I watch and I go, I could never do that. Like, I guess what I'm saying is in broadcasting, I'm fairly cocky. Like you hear the young new startup, I'm like, I see what you're doing. I can do that. Or I did that 25 years ago. Play-by-play is like rap to me. Like it's magic. You know what I mean? Like I could never rap. I don't think I could ever do play-by-play. We're so blessed to have like Ricky and John here. They're so much better than even we give them credit for. But as someone who has watched it your whole life and now done it, just talk to me about that. I'm fascinated by what it's like to just be like, okay, here we friggin' go. We've got 9 innings.
First of all, Dave, you absolutely could do it. Anyone could do it. It's about preparation. It really is, because the more you watch it, the more you understand it's just a dance and you have to learn the steps. And as soon as you learn those steps, you can dance in any, production that comes your way. And as long as you're prepared with what you're looking at, which is, the players, the game, the strategy, you've done your research in terms of talking to guys about what they're looking for, what they're working on, you can tell their backstories. The play-by-play part just kind of falls in the middle of it. As you're telling these stories and weaving these storylines in, then you just say what you see. And that's it. It didn't come as easy to me to start because I'm used to, prepping people for the game or then reviewing it afterwards in terms of pre and post. But a lot of my live work that I've done throughout my career or any of my sideline work, whether it's college basketball or, for MLB or NHL, that's the live interactions where you have to say exactly what you just heard, exactly what you just saw, and that comes into play-by-play too. So all the different elements that I've kind of collected throughout my career helped me, with that. I wouldn't say I was great at it, but it was an awesome opportunity. I'm so thankful for the Cardinals for giving me that chance.
Yeah.
And, we'll see if maybe there's some of it in the future for me.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
Have you ever done it, Kev?
Oh, yeah. Different things. And you could definitely do it. First of all, Dave, I got to agree with Alexa.
For sure.
It's just, it's knowing the lane of what you're doing, right? Basketball is very different from baseball, which is different than football, which is different than hockey.
Yeah.
And as long as you've got that feel, you can't call a baseball game like you call a hockey game.
Right.
I mean, you can, Chris Kerber could call a baseball game, but you don't do it at the same pace, at the same energy, the same speed. And everything's a little, like in baseball, you're painting a picture. In basketball, it's a little bit more almost like number to number because you've got to tell people what's going on. There's not that pace of slowness. Everything's kind of moving. And I think the people that do hockey are phenomenal.
That's the hardest one.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's phenomenal because it moves so fast.
I've grown up watching sports. This is all I do. So when people are like, oh, so what else do you do? I'm like, I'm trying to come up with things like tennis, golf. I'm like, what's a non-sport thing that I just don't really. I mean, I love live music and I'm a foodie, so I like going out to different restaurants, but that's really my life. So because I've done this for so long, like Bob Costas' voice, Joe Buck's voice is ingrained in my head. I can close my eyes and, recite some of their play-by-play. It starts to kind of become part of who you are and it's second nature to some degree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Personal question. Have you ever been with a guy who was intimidated by your superior knowledge of sports?
I think I've been with guys who have been intimidated by my proximity to successful people in sports. And I think that women in this business have a huge struggle with that, honestly. I mean, when you look around the league and you see these swaths of sideline reporters that are single and that are dating and we swap dating stories, it often comes down to we struggle to find secure men who understand what it's like to be in the business where we're in the clubhouse, we're traveling with the team, we're speaking to highly successful guys, but we have no interest in dating them because that's crossing a line.
Sure.
We're protecting our careers. And, that's where communication in relationships obviously is really big. But yeah, that's something that we all face. And again, it's something that you just kind of have to work through and figure out.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I asked that question.
Yeah.
I mean, I can relate.
Totally.
Relate. Like, if I were your boyfriend, I'd be like, oh, great, it's Nolan Arenado. This is fantastic. Like, at least he's not cute.
Yeah, I get why people inside get that difference.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
Because you see, I mean, like in my generation, it's not been at all unusual. In fact, from the very beginning of me getting into the business, it was women in the locker room. It was normal. It wasn't like it was in the 70s where it would have been like joke, make fun of her, outcast, that kind of thing. So I've only seen it in that way, which is the way that it is now, essentially. And it's changed in 30 years. It keeps getting better. But that is such a normal thing. And if you worked in the business, you wouldn't necessarily have that worry. Because it's not really a thing.
Also,
it's just not.
If you know me, I'm almost 40 years old. These players are like 22. They're babies. They're children. I'm like their older sister. To some, I'm probably a mother figure. I mean, I'm helping them with groceries. I'm helping them figure out where they can buy sheets. Like, I'm trying to help them out with little everyday things that, an older sister would, because that's the way that I'm viewed in the clubhouse. So when people are like, oh, would you date, any of these? Never, ever in my life. But also, they don't want to date me either. So it's a mutual respect.
That's what I'm saying. If you're inside the locker room, you know that. Yeah.
That's great. That is great. You are awesome. We love you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Hey friends, I'm Sharon McMahon, host of Here's Where It Gets Interesting. Each week I speak with authors, experts, and thought leaders on everything from American history and democracy to how to be a better person on the internet. And don't miss my extremely popular docuseries, which educate you on things you never learned in history class. Follow and listen to Here's Where It Gets Interesting on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Hi, Debbie Monterey with Gloria Liu, owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria, you've been helping families for more than 22 years with your guarantees, your buyers and waiting program, and you were telling me that between now and the end of the year is a good time to sell. Can you share why?
Always good to see you. When it comes to timing, the spring and fall selling season have historically been the most active. However, due to raised home value and affordability, this market still has lots of sellers and buyers on the sidelines. Fact is, between now and year end is a great time to discuss the sale of your home. I have guaranteed sale program solutions for every situation, including instant multiple cash offers, 100% market value, or my trusted guarantee sale program, where I'll sell your home at our agreed upon price, or I will buy it myself.
Sounds like a plan. The time is now. Call Gloria Liu at 314-325-6888, 314-325-6888, or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
Thank you, St. Louis, for making Genesis of St. Charles the #1 Genesis dealer in Missouri for 2025. We know your time is valuable. That's why every purchase comes with 3 years of complimentary Genesis service valet within 125 miles. We're closer than you think. That means complimentary vehicle pickup and delivery, plus a loaner vehicle at no additional cost. Or want something new? We'll bring the test drive to you. Visit genesisofstcharles.com today. Based on GMA sales records for 2024. See dealer for details.
So I would probably try a little bit to lower your expectations with a lot of my clients. Not because they're not good, but just like, be reasonable. With Mosby Building Arts, I think you can throw reasonability out of it. I think you can really expect trust, expertise, and a premium experience every time. They've been doing home remodeling now for decades, and they've had the show on KMOX on the weekends, which my buddy Rich Orris does now on Saturdays. They're just so good at what they do. So anything to your home, especially kitchens and lower levels and outdoor areas that you have had that discussion about, we should really do something. We should try this. We should try that. Anything that you can find online, anything that you can take a picture of at a resort, anything that you want to rip off from that neighbor that just seems to have everything that you want, we can make it happen for you within your budget. Call 314-909-1800 or mosbybuildingarts.com.
You asked, we delivered. KMOX, now on FM. Crystal clear sound at 104.1 FM.
Welcome back, DGS on KMOX. Alexa's so cool.
She's awesome.
Super nice
Does a
human
great
being.
job, man. Does a great job.
You guys had some stuff about McDonald's. Oh, Andrew's not here. You had stuff about McDonald's too, though, right?
Yeah. One is a silly thing. So I guess the head of McDonald's UK is named Zoe Hamburger.
Oh, my gosh.
And she's leaving the company. So
That's not great.
Hamburger is leaving McDonald's. Thought that was just kind of funny. But yeah, the other thing is McDonald's has come out and said, like, look, there's a 2-tier economy out here. Lower income people are just spending less. They're spending less on things like fast food, which historically they've spent a good amount on. But we're basically having to lean on our higher income folks to keep McDonald's afloat right now. I just thought that was interesting. This 2-tier economy, basically the haves and the have-nots, which we've talked about in the past, that gap seems to be widening to the point where the haves can afford fast food. The have-nots are struggling to afford it. Just kind of a sign of the times we're in, I guess.
I'm mad at McDonald's, and maybe I shouldn't, but I wrote on my show sheet, F McDonald's last night.
Really?
Because a new story came out, probably the same story, where the CEO's like, yeah, we're going to have to lower prices again. I'm like, oh, again? You mean since the last time you were charging $19 for a Big Mac meal and you got caught and you were shamed and you lowered them for a couple weeks and then you raised them again? I understand they're a business. I understand they're a giant business. I understand that they have to make a profit, and it's never been more difficult with the price of goods and their materials and tariffs and all this stuff. But I just feel jerked around by McDonald's. And when he says that, I'm not sure it's an honest thing to say, but I'm not sure it's a smart thing to say. As one of their probably upper end income earners who eats McDonald's all the time, it's not my job to support you.
Oh, no, they're not saying and you gotta buy more because we need you folks. I said that wrong. They basically said, though, through the end of the year, the more well-off customers are the future of the consumer landscape. The only concern is how many of those customers actually exist. And I think that's an interesting conversation to have. I mean, we're just seeing more and more people struggle. And then there are the people who are doing okay, but that struggling group is getting bigger.
So that's almost a canary in the coal mine for me. When you're telling me that an economy is to the point where lower income earners can't afford fast food or aren't spending it because they don't think they can one way or the other, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's a pretty big problem.
Yeah.
Seems like it would be the sign of something bigger to be concerned about. Mm-hmm. If we're all those people that used to eat fast food, they're not doing it anymore. They can't afford it like they used to. That's kind of a troubling thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We do this here?
Yes, please.
This is for First Missouri Credit Union. Let me say this. I saw a bank commercial last night, a commercial for banks, and it made me not want to go to banks. Because they are, even when they're trying to put their best foot forward, they can't get away from being so judgmental and so stodgy and so overly fancy. And I just don't like them. Now, I have a bank, but I'll tell you this, I haven't been there. I bet I haven't been to my bank in 15 years. I do go to First Missouri Credit Union. I like the experience. I like the people. They're just worlds nicer to me than they are at my bank. And it's not just courtesy. They will give me better rates when I need to borrow, say, for a car loan. They're giving me, First Missouri pays more on my checking account, 4.27%, than my bank does on a certificate of deposit. So it's just two different worlds. They're down on Lee May Ferry. If you're worried that, I don't live in South County, the way that the credit unions operate is you can go to pretty much any credit union near you and do your transactions and still get the benefits of First Missouri. 314-544-5050, the number one, stmocu.org.
Wake up informed. Wake up empowered. Wake up to Total Information AM, your morning must.
Hi, this is Debbie Monterey.
I'm Megan Lynch.
This is Tom Ackerman.
From local news to breaking headlines to weather, traffic, and the stories that matter most, we've got you covered before your first sip of coffee. Expert analysis, bright perspectives from the people you trust. Total Information AM. Your day starts here. Mornings beginning at 5 on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
Dave Murray's forecast is headed your way now.
We'll keep an eye on the sky, especially between 4 p.m. and 9 p.m. today, for a couple of scattered thunderstorms as a strong cold front moves our way. Partly sunny skies otherwise. But it is the warmest of the week by far, 87 for the high, not anticipating anything severe. Then tonight, scattered showers and thunderstorms into the evening, 56 for the overnight low as winds eventually turn to the northwest. Thursday, gorgeous, partly to mostly sunny and 75. Friday, another cold front late in the day, partly sunny, couple of spot storms, 78, 70s through the weekend. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Brought to you by Duke's Mayonnaise.
This is the Duke's Country Song. It's a song about the best mayo. It has a yellow lid, and its full name is Duke's Mayonnaise. Get Duke's Mayo in store. It's got twang.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Missouri, get ready! The wait is almost over. DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is coming soon to the Show Me State, and you can sign up today. New Missouri customers can get $300 in bonus bets when we launch on December 1st. Download now and place a $5 bet when we go live. DraftKings Sportsbook brings everything you need to elevate your game day, including live in-game betting, lightning-fast payouts, and endless ways to get in on the action, all right from your phone. phone. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code KMOX to grab $300 in bonus bets with just a $5 bet when we go live December 1st. That's code KMOX in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
Dive into adventure this summer at the St. Louis Aquarium's Summer of the Shark. Get face to fin with some of the ocean's most awe-inspiring creatures in shark-themed exhibits, jaw-dropping displays, and interactive experiences for the whole family. Whether you're a fin-tastic fan or just curious, there's hands-on fun and fascinating facts around every corner at the St. Louis Aquarium. Don't miss your chance to make a splash. Plan your visit today at stlouisunionstation.com. That's stlouisunionstation.com.
SNL Coin. We buy gold and silver coins, silver and gold jewelry. Also buying gold-filled and silver plates. Before you sell, call SNL. 314-544-3600. 314-544-3600. SNL Coin.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights. We can reawaken any space to make your happy place your home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight. We are visiting with Dr. Premal Thacker.
And we're very fortunate at Washington University School of Medicine and Siteman to have the only endometrial cancer spore. So we are actually doing a $15 million grant that is housed here under Dr. Much to actually evaluate uterine cancer.
Thanks to Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. For more information, please visit siteman.wustl.edu.
Today, the Cards, the Athletics. Ameren Total Access 550. Cardinals Radio, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Welcome back, DGS on KMOX. I had a question. Do you think that modern-day billionaires have killed the golden goose? Like, for generations, super wealthy people were pretty chill about it, and everyone seemed like pretty okay with it. And in this last generation, now we seem to really hate wealth. And you have to blame the wealthy. Like the new rich, the Bezos and the Elons, they're just so hateable. Like, if I were a billionaire, which there are lots of low-key billionaires out there, I'd be like, hey, shut the F up. You're ruining the whole thing for all of us.
I mean, I think it is no coincidence that this has coincided with social media. And there's a way to flex your wealth now that, I mean, maybe there wasn't such a direct path to showing everyone how much you have in comparison to how much they have. And then there's a whole other group of people who don't have money, who use their online platforms to give off the appearance of having much more money than they actually have. I think there's just a lot of, in the last segment we talked about, there's the haves and the have-nots. I think the have-nots just go like, oh, yeah, the haves have even more now? Great. Thank you for rubbing it in my face, by the way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, 20 years ago, we had half the number of billionaires in the U.S. that we have now.
Yeah.
So if you want to know why there's that impression, is because there's literally twice as many of them. And I think you're right, Dave, is a lot of the billionaires in the old school, you knew their names, but you didn't necessarily see their faces and hear their voices all the time. And they kind of did their work behind the scenes, and they did their lobbying and spent their money on political campaigns, just like they do now. But now there are that group that are just out there. Like, they're in your face. They're telling you, how to live. They're trying to influence you more, buying social media platforms. And it's also finally coming to a point, and I saw somebody who has studied this. It wasn't a random person, but who has studied it, that shows up a lot of our economic problems now are because of what we did in Iraq and Afghanistan following 9/11, and how we basically never paid for it. We just borrowed all the money, and we borrowed trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars. And at the same time, normally when you have a war-like time, taxes go up. Well, they didn't want to do that following 9/11, so they never increased taxes on the U.S. In fact, they were cutting taxes, which meant we had to borrow more, and it's just kind of put us it's a large part of what's put us in this bind, where the debt continued to grow, where it saps a lot out of the economy because we refuse to do what you do when you go to war. When you go to war, you raise taxes because you raise taxes to pay for the war. But we won't want to do that because politicians don't like making people angry. So instead of doing it the way we should have, we financed it and we just passed it along to future generations. And now some of the implications of that are kicking us in the teeth, along with current policy changes and problems from the previous administration and things along those lines. But yeah, I mean, and why do you think that happened? Well, I mean, who hates taxes more than anyone in the world?
Rich people.
The richest people. Because for them, it's not so much about the practicality of it. It's just, it's mine and I want it. As opposed to, I need it or I'll ever spend it. They'll never spend any of that money.
Yeah. I'm distracted by one of our texters. Parker says, eek. Okay, going back to the podcast, this is bending my brain actually seeing you guys. Bye.
Bye.
It is weird when you've listened to someone for a long time and you don't know what they look like, and then you finally see them. It's like, that's not how you're supposed to look.
Yeah. I've always thought it's weird meeting celebrities in person. Like, there's something about, like, when I met John Hamm and Andy Cohen, they looked exactly like I thought they would look. But just being animated creatures was weird. Like, oh, you're a real human being.
It's like, I get what you mean. I get what you mean.
And they're always shorter than you think. Like, not shorter than me. I'm not like a tall guy, but like, I always feel like I picture them as being much taller than they end. And then they're just like normal person sized, which makes sense because, you know.
John was pretty tall, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He's an exception because he is actually like 6'4" or something.
Is he really?
He's a real tall.
Wow. Did not know that. I remember that that's especially for actors and musicians. They're always, I shouldn't say always, a lot of them are smaller than you would portray.
And you know my theory on that. It's because the Tom Cruises and the Johnny Depps of the world probably wanted to be great athletes, but they were 5'6", 5'7".
Hey.
And I know. I'm not that far ahead of you. And so they decided to go into drama or music, and I think that's why you see a lot of guys that size.
I mean, I it's not 100%, but a lot of, you see a lot of rock stars, and you're like, wow, I didn't realize he was that little.
Mm-hmm.
Like Steven Tyler is like a wee little guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Prince was vanishingly small.
Yeah. That one you could kind of tell.
Mm-hmm.
But like normally you can't really, because what's your perspective, you know? A giant stage with things that you don't really have normal perspective on, like speakers and things like that.
What do you guys think of this? And I'm probably going to get a little of this wrong, but I did actually read the article, but it's sort of statutory. Southwest, for some time now, unbeknownst to me, because I'm not a very large person, has been selling plus-size passengers 2 seats so that they can be more comfortable, and then they can get a refund on the extra seat. That's pretty nice. And so now Southwest is taking heat for it, so they are changing their rules so that you can only get that refund if there were empty seats on the plane.
Sure.
So if the plane is full, which most of my planes lately have been full, most of mine, that you're not going to get your money back. And so people are complaining about that. How's that hit you?
I mean,
is it nice enough that Southwest is doing it at all?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's nice that they were doing that. It kind of doesn't make sense to me that you would get something extra because of your size.
I know.
I don't know
it's
how to
thorny.
put it without sounding
Being
like
offensive.
Yeah, because it's not
Right.
about judging anything. It's just the practicality of they're running a business. Their business is how many people can we put in this plane?
Yeah.
And if one person takes up 2 seats instead of 1, and you could have otherwise sold that, I think it's a hard argument to make that one person should get 2 for the price of 1. But I think it's a gracious thing to do to say, hey, if it's not a sold-out flight, if there's even 1 empty seat on this flight, we will refund that for you because it's a seat we didn't sell.
Yeah, I think that's
a
perfectly
really
fair.
good compromise. I think that seems like a really fair way to do it.
Because I mean, where do you make the decision of like, oh, okay, yes, you are of the size that we will do this for. You're 5 pounds lighter, so no, yeah, even though you're uncomfortable the whole flight, we're not going to give you that extra seat, or we're not going to give you the money back. Like, how do you start to make that differentiation? It's the same thing if someone wants to buy 2 seats to like spread out on the flight, if that flight is oversold, that seat is still going to be taken away, even if they purchased it in advance. So, I mean,
I think we're all in agreement on that. Smart Mouth RH?
yeah. So the thing about Smart Mouth, like I said earlier, it actually works. It actually eliminates your bad breath at the source. That's not something you can say about those other brands. I'm sorry, it's just true. Prior to using Smart Mouth, I would not use mouthwash that much because I didn't notice a huge difference with my breath. I was like, I mean, I guess I could use that, but it kind of was just to make me feel better. With Smart Mouth, my bad breath is eliminated at the source for 12 hours per rinse. So you use it once in the morning, once at night. You're dealing with 24-hour bad breath protection.
As I always say, if you're like me and you don't go to the dentist as much as you should, you have a little gingivitis, which you can tell, you brush your teeth, especially with a new toothbrush, and you spit it out in your sink and there's blood in it, go to the store and get Smart Mouth Gum Health. Might still be called clinical in a few stores, but pretty much all Gum Health now stops gingivitis in its tracks. I can save you $2.50 off everything you buy by going to smartmouth.com/Glover.
The legendary sound of the Doobie Brothers is rolling into town. Don't miss the show. Coming to Hollywood Casino Amphitheater September 4th with special guest, the Coral Reefer Band. It's a night of timeless hits, epic harmonies, and classic rock energy like only the Doobies can deliver. Tickets are still available and can be found at Ticketmaster.com. For more info, head to KMOX.com/events.
If you're trying to sell your home, there's only one group of agents in town I trust, Mark and Neil Gelman of eXp Realty. My friends Mark and Neil have the best system, options, and strategies to connect you to the best qualified buyers, getting your home sold fast and for top dollar. Check out thegelmanteam.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up, like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
We know you're uncertain about psychics. Is this fortune teller you found on a forum legit?
Your one true love is...
Me!
That's why California Psychics reject 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us. We guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. New customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. So experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com. Get insights on the go. Download the California Psychics app today.
Hey Illinois, this is Ben Barnett, board certified master arborist and owner at Timberline Professional Tree Care. Sorry St. Louis, this message is for our friends in the Metro East. Did you know that most Missouri-based tree contractors can't legally travel into Illinois? This is due to federal motor carrier regulations that require large trucks and their drivers to be registered with the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration in order to travel across state lines. Almost all other tree services in Missouri fail to meet the requirements for safety, drug and alcohol testing, and equipment maintenance that are required for interstate travel. Here at Timberline, we meet and exceed all of these requirements and will be glad to travel across the river to meet all of your tree care needs. Call us today at 636-479-7475 for tree fertilization, pruning, insect and disease treatment, or complete removal. Or visit our website at stltreecare.com. That's stltreecare.com for service in the Metro East area.
Welcome back, guys. DGS on KMOX. As you know, we are very good friends with veterans and veterans organizations, and anytime someone has something, they are welcome on the show. Will is back from Grunt Style. Will, good to see you, my friend. How are you?
Thanks for having us back, man.
Introduce our new friend.
This is Dr. Scott Kahneman. He's going to be one of our instructors at our event that's coming up in 2 weeks called Integration.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
Jump in there. Tell us all about it. Just switch off as you need to. Just tell everyone what there is to know.
Yeah, happy to. So one of the primary focuses of work of the Grunt Style Foundation is we promote a rejection of the status quo. And by that, we mean the traditional allopathic methods of treating mental health and suicide prevention within the VA. For our veterans, not many people know this, but 68% of all veterans that are in the VHA, or the Veterans Healthcare Administration, are on these psychotropic medications. These are your antidepressants, benzodiazepines, SSRIs. One of the primary side effects of these class of medications is an increase in suicidal or homicidal ideation. So we're taking people that are in vulnerable states that may already be dealing with issues of suicide, and then we're giving them medications that increase that suicidal ideation factor there. So what we're saying is there's other ways. There are other modalities that are out there. To really heal is not about fixing yourself. It's about integrating the feelings, right? Yeah. So we are trying to medicate normal. Having feelings is normal. If you are depressed, if you are angry, if you're having grief or whatever it is, there's a process that you have to go through to integrate that in a healthy way, to make that part of your identity and move on down the road. And we are conditioned as a culture to just take these medications to prevent you from feeling. And that is normal. So we say that you're medicating normal through that. So what we like to do is we like to promote alternative healing modalities. We've got a podcast called The Triangular Compass that we run through our social media platforms. Any of the Grunt Style or Grunt Style Foundation platforms, you can find it there. But we showcase alternative modalities that have a holistic healing ability through the mind, the body, and the spirit. And so this event here in the second weekend in September, so the 12th through the 14th, up here in Troy, Missouri, at Quiver River State Park at the Sherwood Forest Campground, we are bringing in 24 top shelf practitioners of different crafts. Everything from ayahuasqueros that are coming up from Colombia in the Amazon, from Peru. So that's in the plant medicine world. We've got folks talking about amphibian medicines like Bufo, which is 5-MeO-DMT. We're talking to folks about singing bowls and healing with equine-assisted therapy with horses, breath work, holotropic breath work, and then, of course, Dr. Scott here is a quantum hypnosis healing therapist practitioner. So I'll let Scott tell you about what he's doing, but he's a great example of some of the things that will be offered at this event.
Yeah, I know all those words. I don't know how they go together. That's really interesting.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm Dr. Scott, and I'm one of the instructors at the integration camp. And it's one of those rare opportunities where I get to give back to the veteran community. And Will just laid it all out like perfectly, so it's kind of difficult to follow that up. But he is spot on in everything he's saying about SSRIs, and it's probably no big secret that the veteran community hasn't been treated the best by the VA over the years, right? But one of the best kept secrets, I think, from that community is that something else works aside from talk therapy and SSRI meds. Something else works, and that is getting into the alpha brainwave state and the theta brainwave state as a method of dealing with anxiety, depression, PTSD, and what have you. Those brainwave states are where the real therapy can take place outside of, the call it the medication biosphere. But those brainwave states are what really can help someone. And so that's what I'm there doing at Integration, is I'm helping these veterans get into the alpha state and training them in how to sort of self-regulate that so that they can stay out of that fight or flight response.
So I never served a day in my life, but I've had lifelong anxiety. And I went on Lexapro. I went on Cymbalta once. I couldn't even do the ramp up. And then I went on Lexapro, stayed on it for a couple of years. And in hindsight, the cliche, it squashed me. Like I was a little less anxious. I was also a little less happy. But it was ultimately a failure. But I'm very open to the kind of things you guys are talking about. So, you guys are always welcome here on the show. And I think that it's no surprise that Big Pharma has given things like what you're talking about such bad names because they're competition. they're little competition for big pharma, but they can't allow anyone to do anything that's not going to make them a profit.
That's exactly right. And it wasn't until 1913 when John D. Rockefeller figured out how to make a product out of his petroleum as a side byproduct of oil, to where we could suspend isolated compounds in that product. That is the origin story of allopathic medicine. So all of these medicines that have been since time began in these different modalities now suddenly are quackery. Once those medical schools, also funded by your friends at Standard Oil, put that into motion. So I don't think these are new modalities. I think these are the original modalities. And so we're trying to coin that term, the original modalities as opposed to the alternative modalities.
Yeah. So, Doc, how much ground can be gained in like a single session, or is it more cumulative like talk therapy with what you do?
Cumulative is always great, but oftentimes only one session is needed when I see clients one-on-one, and I can take clients into a deeper state of hypnosis than I can in a larger group setting where there's 20 to 25 people. But one-on-one, oftentimes clients are well equipped after just one session, right? I will see clients multiple times, but one is usually a great average.
And what sort of improvements, or in what ways do veterans get better when they see you?
Well, it's not, I don't want to pretend like it's me that's doing the healing. It's not. They're healing themselves. I'm just sort of a guide. And I guess if the question is, how are they better? Oftentimes when you're in the theta states of brainwaves, or if you're in the alpha state of brainwaves and you bridge over to theta, we can talk about that later. But when you're in the theta state, you will recall living a different lifetime entirely, a past life. And veterans will oftentimes recall a life where they're still in conflict, still at war. They're still fighting for some sort of cause. And it isn't until they come out of that session and we talk about it that they'll start seeing pattern recognition. And that, I think, is a huge benefit to the veteran communities, being able to step outside themselves and see a pattern.
Yeah, I'd definitely add to that. When we're talking about, again, going back to this idea of medicating the normal and keeping you from feeling the feels, right? There's pills. You don't have to suffer, man. You don't have to feel this grief. You don't have to feel this anxiety. Just take this pill. Well, that might very well numb you to the point that you're cutting out those valleys of depression, but it's also cutting off those mountaintops of joy and happy things, right? Yeah. And a lot of times, this is really one thing that all of these modalities have in common is they have a wonderful ability to help you kind of see things from a different perspective, maybe just slightly canted, just a little bit off from how you normally look at it, but it's not about trying to suppress these feelings. Yeah. It's to go in there and hit them head on. And one of the things of Scott's practice that I love so much is that it's a comfortable way to do that. It's very similar to what you might find with like dimethyltryptamine, DMT, or ayahuasca, or even psilocybin.
But less scary.
But less scary. And it's more approachable, it's more accessible, and it's not as controversial. Yeah. So.
How do people get information on the event coming up in a couple of weeks?
Yeah, they can find it on our website at gruntstylefoundation.org. So,
very good.
Yep.
So we'll keep hitting it for you between now and that weekend, and then Doc will have you back on and just do a segment with you alone.
Love to.
Excellent.
It's Trish. Your bathroom might be small, but fixing it can feel huge. Outdated fixtures, the tub that's seen better days. At Michael's Bath, they specialize in affordable bathroom remodeling that fits your budget and your lifestyle. Whether you want a walk-in shower, better storage, or a fresh modern look, they make it simple, clean, and budget-friendly. No surprises, no gimmicks, just quality workmanship you can trust. Call Michael's Bath today for your free, no-pressure estimate. 636-775-0800 or michaelsbath.com.
We started Neovitin because we wanted to create a multivitamin for ourselves. That's why we focus on quality ingredients and formulas with our multivitamins. Neovitin 50 Plus multivitamins are formulated with over 20 vitamins and minerals, along with our 4-ingredient physician-formulated proprietary blend for the highest quality daily nutritional support. Give Neovitin 50 Plus multivitamins a try for yourself Find them at your local Schnucks, Dierbergs, and online at neovitin.com.
Let me tell you guys about my friend Dr. Corey Stolman, orthopedic surgeon. Especially now that I'm so into the medical stuff, and I kid about it, but I'm not kidding. My TikTok is all like, so you're a neurosurgeon. Like, yes, I am. So I'm really into that stuff and just fascinated, especially by surgeons and especially people who are like Corey, who are just the absolute top. I know so many doctors in town, and they all know Corey. And they not only respect him, they all send their patients to him because he's so good in the operating room. He has great outcomes, and he's just a really good, easy to talk to guy. So if someone twists something or tears something or obviously breaks something, whether it's emergent or it's something that's chronic, has been bothering you for maybe even decades, reach out to him, 636-231-5881 or Solman, S-O-L-M-A-N, SolmanOrthopedics.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson. Paid for by Action Matters. Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out.
Attention parents of children who have used the gaming platform known as Roblox. If your child was a victim of sexual abuse or harm of any kind while using the Roblox platform, you may be entitled to compensation. Roblox is facing multiple high-profile lawsuits, including an ongoing class action, alleging it failed to protect users from foreseeable dangers that led to the grooming, exploitation, and sexual abuse of minors on the platform. Claims allege Roblox turned a blind eye to predators, unsafe games, and deceptive monetization practices that targeted children. Victims were contacted through in-game chats and coerced into private conversations on third-party apps. If you believe your child may have been a victim of grooming, sexual abuse, or harm of any kind while using the Roblox platform, you may be entitled to a cash settlement. Text our helpline now to find out if you have a viable compensation claim against Roblox. Text GONE to 323232. That's GONE to 323232. Gone to 323232.
Winner of the National Edward R. Murrow Award for Breaking News. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
We've got sunshine. It is 84 degrees downtown at the Arch. This hour's news is sponsored by the St. Louis Aquarium at Union Station. Missouri lawmakers are meeting today in a special session to redraw congressional lines. Republicans are aiming to break up the 5th congressional district held by Kansas City Democrat Emanuel Cleaver. He's represented that district for nearly 21 years and tells MissouriNet some of the Republicans are his friends.
Naturally, the worst part of this is people that I know and like are going to probably have to, in their minds, follow what the president has ordered.
The special session is expected to run at least a week. No talks are currently scheduled between Boeing and striking union workers.
And they couldn't be further apart. Striking union workers say they want to see an offer closer to what their fellow employees in Seattle received.
Seattle got a $12,000 signing bonus, but yet when it comes to St. Louis, only $5,000 was offered.
Boeing Vice President Dan Gillian.
I understand the comparison. The biggest thing is 10 years in Seattle since the last contract, 3 years in St. Louis since the last contract. The cost of living is quite different. It makes sense for the deals to be different.
Gillian did not sound concerned when asked if the strike could have an impact on future contracts, such as constructing the F-47. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
Survivors of both Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell's abuse held a press conference demanding the release of all the Epstein files. Missouri Congressman Wesley Bell says we have to get to the bottom of this.
These crimes, this cover-up, the scale of it, and I've been involved in prosecutions of a lot of folks, but the scale of these crimes that we're seeing to the highest levels of governments, and is of biblical proportions.
Bell signed a discharge petition to force Congress to hold a vote to release all of the Epstein files. Florida will move to end all childhood vaccine mandates. It would be the first state to do so.
Every last one of them is wrong and drips with disdain and slavery.
Florida Surgeon General Dr. Joseph Ladapo made the announcement at a school standing in front of an American flag. The Treasury Department releases a preliminary list of jobs exempt from income tax on tips.
Food service workers, salon employees, and even podcasters are among those jobs exempt from income tax on tips. That includes bingo workers and ushers. The provision is temporary and expires in 2028. Only tips reported on a worker's W-2 forms qualify. The Yale Budget Lab estimates there were some 4 million workers in tipped occupations as of 2023. Allison Keyes, CBS News, Washington.
Macy's is a big winner in the stock market on the retailer's optimistic outlook. Here's Jason Brooks.
Macy's is making believers out of investors as the department store chain shows progress in its turnaround efforts. Shares in Macy's jumped as much as 20% higher after reporting its best quarter for same-store sales in 12 quarters, while also raising its forecast for the remainder of this year. Macy's CEO Tony Spring credits the improvement in part to a strong focus on the customer experience, while the retailer's turnaround has involved a significant paring back of locations, closing 50 stores in 2024 and another 66 by the end of this year.
And Macy's included the impact of tariffs in its outlook, with the retailer calling tariffs a component of doing business. Let's get an update of the St. Louis Business Index now with Stifel's Scott Bedell. Scott.
Thank you, Michael. Good afternoon, everyone. Following the broad market sell-off that occurred yesterday, stock indices turned in mixed results in today's trading. The only major index that was down for the day was the Dow Jones Industrial Average, off 25 points to 45,270. The Standard & Poor's 500 index was higher by 0.5% at 6,448, while the NASDAQ Composite Index gained 1% to 21,497. Locally, the Bloomberg St. Louis Stock Index fell 0.4% at 1,624. Looking at winners and losers, Peabody Energy gained 1.8% at $17.09. Future Fuel up 3% at $4.01. On the downside, Boeing gave back 2% at $232.38. Stifel Financial down 0.75% at $113.47. And finally, Anheuser-Busch fell a little less than 3%. They closed at $59.56. This has been Scott Bedell from Stifel Financial, member SIPC and New York Stock Exchange. For more information on our firm, please visit our website at stifel.com.
Illinois Route 3 is closed going northbound at Bissell Street. We've got some debris on 44 going west in the ramp from 366 and a stalled vehicle on 6440 going east at Hampton on the right shoulder.
We have another fairly strong cold front on the way, arriving really late this afternoon into the evening. So this is the warmest day of the week by far. 87 for the high. We're ahead of the front all day long, partly sunny skies. And that front should trigger a couple of scattered thunderstorms. Prime time 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. Not anticipating anything severe. 56 for the overnight low. Winds will eventually turn to the northwest tonight. Thursday, another gorgeous day. Partly to mostly sunny skies, low humidity, 75 on Thursday. Thursday night, clear skies, 62. Friday, partly sunny. Another cold front on the way late on Friday, so maybe a spot storm, 78. And that keeps us in the 70s with that northwest flow for the weekend. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
Sponsored by Sachs Financial, it's 84 downtown. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Hey, it's Jeff Sachs at Sachs Financial. Did you know that you have a pension and there are ways to maximize how you take it? That's right. It's called Social Security. Find out more at retiresafestl.com/guide. That's retiresafestl.com/guide.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Welcome back, guys. DGS on KMOX. Coming up in the next segment, we have Danny and Pat, the Listen Brothers, great friends of mine, great friends of the show. They have a show coming up. They'll be in studio live in just a few minutes. Can I just make a political commentary? I think the Epstein issue is the biggest mishandling, not only that Donald Trump's ever done, but one of the worst handling of a topic that I've ever seen. So let me just say this. Not only do I think Trump has done some really unseemly, creepy stuff, but courts have found that, like legally, you are, responsible for, these things. But I personally, if I had to bet my own dollar, I don't think there's much there with the Epstein stuff, because everything we have, Joe Biden had for 4 years. Yeah. And so if he was messing around with underage girls or going to the island and flying on the plane, I think we would know that by now. So I am perplexed at why he's handling this so poorly. If he truly has nothing to hide, then you go, I knew the guy. We were friends for a while. He showed himself to be a creeper. I ended the relationship. I've never done anything with an underage girl. I certainly never did anything with Epstein. Release every page of anything you got. That's all I have to say. That's what you say. And then you follow through with it. But when you call it a hoax, which is his go-to move, and I think that's what it is. I think that's his go-to passing play. And I think he just went to it without really thinking. You are necessarily, logically, grammatically belittling all of these dozens or hundreds of young women who are now no longer young, who were sexually assaulted and raped by these people. That's not a hoax. No one thinks it didn't happen. And the whole, if you're talking about the suicide or the murder, be specific. If you're talking about your involvement, be specific. But to say this is a Democrat hoax is so insulting to so many people, seemingly unnecessarily. Thoughts?
I mean, I agree that it's insulting. I guess I'm questioning why you're surprised that he would speak to people in an insulting fashion.
Because I guess I thought he was smarter than that. I didn't think he was better than that. But let's face it, he's guilty of a lot of stuff. I almost said the S word. But he's not guilty of everything. I'm sure a lot of allegations have been made against him that aren't true. When you find one of those, don't handle it the same way as you do when you're guilty.
But here's the thing. For years, we were told they didn't know each other. They weren't friends. And yet there's plenty of photographic evidence to the contrary.
So you think he made too many little lies?
I think he says things like, I've never doodled in my life. I didn't do a drawing for Jeffrey Epstein. I've never drawn before. And then what is this? Oh, it's
doodles.
Tons of evidence of, it's just, who can say why he wouldn't just say release all the files? But there's a lot of smoke where the fire is supposedly coming from, is all I'm saying.
He's in the files. We know this. We don't exactly know to what capacity yet, but he's in there. We know from his own government that he's in these files. And so I think that it's just, I'm not surprised at all to hear him say that, because he has absolutely no other out. He has absolutely no other path other than to go, yep, I am actually in the files of the world's most famous and dangerous pedophile. I was a close personal friend of his. He has no other recourse than to just be like, every single thing about this is fake. Absolutely nothing about it can be trusted, because if anything can be trusted, then everything can be trusted. So
you
I
guys
have
are
to say
saying
nothing
that
can be
he's
trusted.
not capable of subtlety, so everything is just scorched earth.
I'm not going to pretend to understand his thought process other than the patterns I see over and over again. This is just what he does. I don't go in and I go so do you think where his head is at right now? I have stopped, wasted my time trying to do that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's just, this is what happens over and over again. If he doesn't like something, it's a hoax. It's fake news. It's not real. And hey, to my loyal fans, you should not pay this any mind. And most of the time that works.
I don't think he's capable of doing the, like, hey, everybody, we need to talk about this. I was friends with him. I didn't know about all this stuff. I never participated in any of his illicit activities because I just didn't know about them. To me, he was my buddy that I had coffee and dinner with, once every 4 months. And we were pals and we talked about our lives and we had some, finance dealings together. And that's really all it was. And he isn't capable of doing that. He's, as Rachel said, he's only capable of, it's fake. It's a hoax. None of it. It's all fake. Every last bit of it. There's not a single word true. Everything is a Hillary Clinton hoax. Because he can't do the, like, look, yes, I am in the files. Let's get into it. Let's dig into it. Let's really get to the bottom of this so people can stop worrying about it.
I don't think I think there's two parts to this. One, I don't think anything that's going on his end of it is very complicated. He says, what he does, his pattern of behavior is, I'm going to say what is going to make me popular in this room right now. So for all those times on the campaign trail when he and his people that were supporting him were like, we're going to release the files, they're the ones that blew it up, making it seem, and not just his people, but people that tend to be right-leaning are the ones blowing that up. And then you put yourself in a position where if you don't do the thing that you were promising, well, people are going to be like, why aren't you doing it? But I also think the bigger picture thing on the Epstein thing is a real simple illustration. It is about our justice system being compromised. When you have money and or power and or powerful friends, you will get away with stuff. And that's what happened with Epstein for all those years. You're going to tell me all those charges in Florida just went away for no reason at all? It was handled the way that it was for no reason at all? The reason that it's handled this way and it's gone through multiple administrations over multiple decades is because people that live on the left and the right are both on those lists and both in those files, and they all have friends to protect. So, there's a reason why it never comes out no matter who is in charge, and it's because it's going to hurt everybody. And people in positions of power protect power. That's what they do.
Yeah, that's why I can never nod along with the fact that it's like, well, Joe Biden had access to this for years. And, without a shadow of a doubt, if Trump was on that list, they would have No, that's not true. I don't trust any of these people to do the right thing. Are you kidding me? No.
It's not that. I don't think it's complicated. I don't know who specifically committed what crimes or did whatever. But it's very clear, based on photographic evidence over 25, 30 years, that Epstein hung around with everybody and was putting himself in, and not just in politics, people in the business world, people on Wall Street. Those people are all connected, too. And if you've got money, you have a way to get yourself protection. If you have leverage, if you have powerful friends, you have ways to get like that. It's not, we tend to make this about the parties. It's this elected official and this. It's way more than that. On anything like this, forget that it's Epstein and the accusations are, about underage victims. This could be about almost any other kind of crime. The power and the money protects itself because it's all tied together. Politics is not separate from Wall Street. They're all tied together at those root levels. And, when you have that kind of a setup where it's easy to evade prosecution for 25, 30 years, despite how many accusers have come forward? How many people have wanted to press charges or have pressed charges? And it either just goes away or the instant there's actually a conviction, that person goes away. Well, that's why people are suspicious. Doesn't mean that anything conspiratorial happened, but when you play this game at the big levels, we all like to do this. We all like to be like, yeah, it's those other guys doing it. When in reality, there's people on all sides that probably don't even care that much about politics. They're just tied into this for whatever their personal benefit is.
Tell you guys about Universal Windows Direct. You know about them. You hear about them all the time. If you have a television, you see the television ads. What I like about them is their simplicity. I like that they don't self-aggrandize themselves. I like that they focus on the physical windows and how good they are and what the guarantee is, which is a one-sentence lifetime guarantee. 20-year guarantee for people who buy your house, which I've always thought is really clever, really great. But they can do this because the windows are so good. They know that they're going to last you a lifetime. And if something got through in the manufacturing process or the installation process, they're going to come out and they're going to fix it. It's not going to cost you anything. Buy two, get two for free with no limit. 0% financing for 3 years, $500 off of the entire home improvement project. 314-334-2522, universalwindowsdirect.com.
Hello, it's Lena Dunham. I host a podcast called The C Word with my dearest friend and historian of bad behavior, Alyssa Bennett.
What is up?
It's a chat show about women whose society is called crazy.
We're going to be rediscovering the stories of women society dismissed by calling them mad, sad, or just plain bad.
Listen to and follow The C Word with Lena Dunham and Alyssa Bennett. Available now wherever you get your podcasts.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Looking for a place to call home without all the maintenance? Check out the Towns of Linneman Park, new townhomes by Lombardo, located in St. Peters. These new construction townhomes are located on the south side of 36494, east of Harvester Road, and offer floor plans featuring 2 to 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, a loft, and 2-car attached garages. Community amenities include a clubhouse, pool, pickleball courts, dog park, and walking trails. Tour our newly decorated display and fall in love with your new townhome. Visit lombardohomes.com for more information.
You've got a ton of equity in your home. You're sitting on a gold mine, and you could do so much with all that cash, like travel, invest it, or pay off debt, but you can't touch it unless you sell your home. But you really don't want to move. And besides, homes are sitting on the market for a long time these days. You're trapped, right? Well, not with Truehold. With Truehold, you can cash out your equity in as little as 30 days. And listen, you don't have to move. You can stay in the home you love as a renter. So that's Truehold's Sell and Stay program. You cash out your entire home's value and stay put. Truehold even covers property taxes, property insurance, and essential repairs. So imagine using that equity to travel, invest, or pay off debt and stay in your home. It's brilliant, especially in this slow market. You get an all-cash offer now by calling 1-855-300-9993. You can also visit Truehold.com, the smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without moving. That's Truehold.com.
KMOX is now on 104.1 FM, the same great station with even better sound.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 104.1 FM KMOX. Happy Wednesday. Two of my favorite people in the world are here, the Liston brothers. Good to see you guys.
Great to be here.
I just shocked them that Phoebe was a junior in college.
Unbelievable.
I think you knocked 2 people out of their chairs.
I know.
Can we put this off for a minute? I'm still trying to pass this head, man. Holy mackerel.
Restabilize.
It's so true. Other people's kids are what make you feel old.
Yeah,
yeah, because we can bluff through it. You know,
Yeah.
I saw a guy from a church I used to go to. I said, how's your little girl? He said, good, Pat. She's 40, has 4 kids. I'm like,
pervert little girl.
So what's new with you guys?
Oh, go ahead, Pat. Take it.
Well, not much. I still play solo around, and then we do this thing because I don't really get to play with the band much,
Yeah.
so this is kind of fun.
Yeah. And we're bringing Pat in so that he has some fun with a band and,
A place to go.
Somewhere
Right.
to go. Right.
Yeah.
Well, what we do is we take, my anthology, the Allman Brother thing.
Yeah.
We take that whole band for the last 2 years, and then we just transition as the Liston Brothers band.
Mm-hmm.
Except this year, we're actually going to open the show, do like a 40-minute set of classic
You're slowly
Allman
trying to
Brothers
take
stuff.
over is what it basically
Yes.
boils down to.
Well, I'm working.
He's
at it.
always on stage.
Yes. But then we're going to come back and do all the Mama's Pride stuff with the Liston Brothers.
So let's talk a little bit. So I have never performed musically solo, but I've done solo performance, and I played in the band, obviously. Like, how is that different for you guys? The different vibe, the different energy.
Well, he won't do it, but and I understand because
I've done
I
it once.
hated it when I first started doing it. I was like, I
Lonely.
thought it was going to be fun, and then I was like, you do these songs that you liked, but they sound terrible solo. So you learn there's only certain songs. If you're doing a cover song, do just a certain song. But it doesn't bother me now. I actually kind of enjoy it, and you get to interact with people, which when you're doing concerts and stuff, even if you're playing in clubs with a band, you don't really get a chance to interact that much, Where most of the places I play are more like, food bars,
Yeah.
and so, you get a chance to shoot the breeze with people.
One thing I tell people when they ask about my experience playing music, the only thing I can analogize it to is sports. And I remember this one time playing indoor soccer ball things, just pick up 30-year-old guys. And I made the most perfect pass of my life, and the guy headed it in. And it was magic. You know this feeling, Wheels.
Mm-hmm.
And there are times on stage, not every time, not
Right.
every gig,
No.
but every now and then when you lock in and you make eye contact, and there's just nothing like it.
Nope. It's
when I'm doing solo, I like to tell stories, but it doesn't always work with certain crowds, But when it does and they're engaged, for me, that's
pretty
cool.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, my solo experience was I had a pastor that told me when I turned 60, he goes, I want you to make me a promise. I said, what's that? He goes, I want you to do more for the first time, not the last time. I was like that. So I told Dave Cowles that.
Pretty good.
Mistake. So Dave Cowles calls me and he goes, hey, they need somebody to open for Luther Dickerson over at the Duck Room. I said, Dave, I don't do that. He goes, remember, more for the first time, not the last time, Dan? I'm like, oh, Dave, I hate you for this. I love him, but I hated him for that. So I was so bored of me, 2 songs into it. I got a 40-minute set to do. And I'm like, why are these people even here? If I could, I would leave.
My first solo experience was exactly like that.
It was brutal.
Just get
I
out.
was so bored with myself, and I thought the same thing. And people come up, this was so cool, and I'm thinking, really?
Well, it didn't help that Luther Dickerson's van broke down, and him and the band were talking about it like 2 foot from me, going, well, I don't know. Is it the fuel pump? Well, I don't know. Somebody ought to check. And I'm like,
oh, I didn't have that.
Don't look to find me in the morning.
That's so true. We should be realistic because for every moment on stage, when you lock eyes with the bass player and you're in the groove, I remember we were playing at the Stratford Inn, and they were having a UFC night. And so there's
Lord.
a giant screen behind the band. And they told us, now when we give you the stop sign, the cut in the throat, you stop wherever you are in the song because a match is about to start. So we'd be like, I am the wolf. Okay. And then just, they'd start fighting. And then they'd stop fighting. They'd be like, play, monkeys, play. And you're like, oh, my God.
Free bird.
Or there's nothing worse than, because I do 95% of my own stuff, original stuff, and doing a ballad on the piano. And some waitress throws a beer from across the room into the trash can, and there's 27 empties in there already. It hits and crashes, and you're like, and the room's deathly silent. This was a request.
Right.
And I'm like, what are you thinking? You know?
Yeah, they don't, a lot of people just don't read the room,
No.
Yeah, for sure. So are you having as much fun as you've ever had? More fun?
I would say, for me, I would say it's actually more fun because, you get older, you start counting your blessings. And there's been times on stage where, because with the anthology, we just play theaters. And the band is just the musician. All I do is sing. The musicianship is so stellar that there are times that I'll be sitting there listening to them play like Elizabeth Reed or especially one of the instrumentals. And I'm like, I still get to do this with a group of guys this talented.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's been times where it's moved me to tears where it's like,
get it.
Holy mackerel, this is, and I'll go out and tell the crowd that. It's like, you know what? If you feel like there's something that you wish you'd have done with your life and it's too late, let me be a living example.
Yeah.
It's not.
We had a couple guys on. You'll remember this, Rach. Remember we had the violinist and the classical guitar player, and they were playing at the Sheldon. And they were exactly what you would think. They were European and blah, blah, blah. And they played, and I started crying. Like, it was just so amazing and emotional. Yeah. And I think they're like, who's this puss? But like,
they're like, what's wrong with him?
That was the name of their next record.
Yes, it is.
Right. You've inspired us, Dave Glover.
It was. But yeah, just like, okay, we're running out of time here. When is the show? How do people get tickets? All that good stuff.
It's October the 4th. It's at the Pageant. Showtime's going to be at 6:30.
Nice.
That way people
Smart.
can get down and it's still daylight.
That's right.
And blah, blah, blah,
Get
blah,
home
blah.
in time for breakfast.
Right. We got the Funky Butt brass section.
Love it.
With Jim Stevens, Abby Stahlschmidt sitting in with us. And like I said, Anthology's opening the show, and then we're going to do all the Mama's Pride, all your favorites.
Where's the show?
The Pageant.
Oh, love it.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yep. So be there or be square.
Tickets in advance, the usual kind of stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Excellent.
What is it? Tuesday and Friday, if you go down to the box office, you can get them without all the...
Tuesday and Thursday, Friday, I forget, but you can actually go to the box office and there's no fees.
I was supposed to be in KU October 4th, and that got moved, so I think I'll be able to be there. Love it.
Please, we would love
Yes,
that.
I would love to be there. Thank you, boys.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Missouri, get ready! The wait is almost over. DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is coming soon to the Show Me State, and you can sign up today. New Missouri customers can get $300 in bonus bets when we launch on December 1st. Download now and place a $5 bet when we go live. DraftKings Sportsbook brings everything you need to elevate your game day, including live in-game betting, lightning-fast payouts, and endless ways to get in on the action, all right from your phone. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code KMOX to grab $300 in bonus bets with just a $5 bet when we go live December 1st. That's code KMOX in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
Let me tell you guys about Susan L. Ward. She's my very good friend. She used to be a colleague, never a peer, because she was so much better at being a divorce attorney than I ever was. She is a really good person. She's incredibly smart. She's very direct. She can be amazingly aggressive if she needs to be in and out of court, whether it's negotiations or it's trying a case, but that's not her only gear. If what you want her to do is just, look, we've decided to get divorced, we're cooperating, we've come up with our own plan, we just need your expert advice, and just to make sure to get us through the system as quickly and peacefully as you can, she would be very happy to do that as well. She has multiple offices, so if you can hear my voice in Missouri, she can represent you. For a free consultation, just simply mention my name when you call, 314-783-9400, stlfamilylaw.com.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, we got one big trouble spot on the highways this afternoon right now, and that's an injury crash on eastbound 64 just before 141. They were letting the right shoulder sneak by, but right now they have that shoulder temporarily blocked. There's some flatbed tow trucks maneuvering into the scene. Eastbound 64 is jammed. Back to about Annie Guns has come out of the valley. Just solid bumper to bumper. A lot of folks have bailed out and are taking South Outer 40, and that's backed up in the area as well. Obviously, westbound 64, Science Center headed out to Big Bend, west of McKnight all the way to Ballas is slow. Not too bad, just a little brief delay past the Timberlake area, or 141, and then it's just slow at the Boone Bridge, and otherwise it's wide open to Wentzville. South 270 is off the pace from Page down to Ladue, and both backed up northbound between 64 and Manchester. Southbound just a little slow there. Westbound 44, some heavier traffic west of Lindbergh. Westbound 70 from Salisbury out through to Shreve Kings Highway area. It looks like there may be an incident there, but after that, again, pretty good shape running out in the Wentzville area. And no problems getting into Illinois. Southbound 55, the usual delays south of Arsenal to Bates and Z through McNutt. I'm Roger Brand at the Michaels Flooring Outlet.com Traffic Center.
Don't miss Mosby Building Arts Home Improvement Show, Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on KMOX. One of the last call-in shows where you can get live answers to your remodeling, design, and construction questions. Tune in Saturdays at 11 a.m.
Emergency evacuation
Breaking news that earns national recognition doesn't happen by chance. It's driven by the relentless focus, dedication, and commitment of a trusted newsroom.
Floodwaters are closing
Recently
roads
honored with a National Edward R. Murrow Award for breaking news, the KMOX newsroom continues to be the vital source of information for our region.
Shelter in place.
Timely reporting every day and rising to the moment when major stories unfold. 104.1 FM KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
That baby's gone!
Cardinals fans, FanDuel Sports Network is your home of the Cardinals.
That ball was mashed.
And there are more ways to watch this season.
Holy cow!
Subscribe directly to FanDuel Sports Network to stream the Cardinals without blackouts.
How about that play?
Or watch through a TV provider.
Incredible!
Including DirecTV, Spectrum, Xfinity, Fubo, and more.
He got it!
Learn more at cardinals.com/TV.
Ball game! It couldn't have worked out any better for the Cardinals.
Frank, did you get the mail?
Coupon, Medicare, AARP. Oh, wait, this one says open immediately.
First one in the trash.
Every day we're bombarded with messages that we don't care about. Problem is, there might be an important message in there that affects you, like retirement. For example, on September 23rd and 25th, Steve All of the All Financial Group will be hosting a Taxes in Retirement seminar at Stone Summit. From the big beautiful bill to taxes on your Social Security, Steve will cover it. It's a complimentary event, but seating is limited, so reserve your seat today. Call 636-230-8824 or online at yourmoneymattersstl.com.
What about this coupon for a new lawn service?
We live in a condo.
So?
On the 3rd floor. Mom always said I shouldn't have married you.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult a qualified professional or guidance before making any purchasing decisions.
It's never too early to start thinking about your retirement journey, and it's never too late either. You just need to know that the steps may look a little different. Listen to Wealth and Wisdom with Gary Goldberg, Saturday mornings at 7 here on KMOX.
Dave Murray's weather forecast is brought to you by Financial and Tax Strategies.
Welcome back, DGS on KMOX. Happy Wednesday. Beautiful day out there. Dave Murray joins us. So, Dave, this is hot as it's going to get all week. That's cool with me.
Yeah, this is it. Yeah, we're about 85 right now. Yeah, wait, we might get it 86, 87 before the day is done. We can handle that.
The cold front hits us in a few hours?
Yeah, I think it's probably going to hold off a little bit. I'm trying to track. It's really hard to find, but it's basically pushing into extreme northeast Missouri right now. It's still north of Kirksville, north of Quincy. That's where a couple of thunderstorms are developing. So let's get this thing through midnight. Let's say midnight. Probably not much sooner than that. There will be some scattered showers and thunderstorms. Not for everybody. Nothing strong, nothing severe. But there should be a little rain around for some of us anyway. And then it kicks by, northwest flow opens up, and we'll wake up in the morning on Thursday to some clouds. That's still the front kind of hanging around. Sun comes out during the afternoon, 75, 62 Thursday night, 78 on Friday. A secondary cold front comes through late Friday into Friday evening. Maybe a spot thunderstorm. Really tough to find. But that opens up the northwest flow again. 54 Friday night, Saturday sunny and 77, Sunday sunny and 78. Hard to believe we are in
Beautiful.
St. Louis.
Yeah.
I know, it really
Yeah,
is.
just gorgeous. And this morning it was raining when I got up, and it was delightful. Like
There you go.
It's been a minute, since I've
Yeah.
had any sort
Oh,
of
yeah.
appreciable rain. So it's
Absolutely. We are in, I wouldn't necessarily call it a serious drought at this point, but we're in a drought. No
Okay.
question.
Headlines, Rach?
Brought to you by Schnucks. Reward yourself daily with the Schnucks Rewards app. So I feel like we usually talk about this during back to school time, but it is a good reminder. Experts are warning parents to use caution when they're posting their children's back to school photos. You see this on social media all the time. Cute little kid holding a little blackboard or something that's like, I'm in kindergarten and my teacher is Mrs.
Ooh,
Brown.
yeah, I never
and
thought of that.
It's at this school. And, it seems like fun and games until you realize there are people who you don't want to see. There are people who you don't want to see that, seeing that.
Yeah.
So just be
Don't
extremely
do it.
cautious.
That's the easy thing. Don't do it.
Right. And even don't do the photo in front of your house, because if someone sees your house number, it's just easier than ever to track that kind of stuff down and figure out your exact location. So please just use extreme caution when doing stuff like that. According to a new study, walking can reverse brain aging. So this is from from behavioral medicine. This happened back in October. But about 204 participants answered a few questions every day. It showed that when they got even light exercise, such as a quick walk, their brain processing had speeds equivalent to someone 4 years younger.
Nice.
So that's something to keep in mind as we all get older. Exercise is
wonder I
really, really
feel
good
so
for your
young.
brain.
Are you a big walker, Dave?
Yeah, I've got 2 Labradors, so
Yeah.
we walk 4 times a day. Now, rain is 14 and a half, so our pace is pretty slow, but we walk, and it's good for her. It's good for me. And I always said, if you want to lose weight, get a dog and walk the dog, walk the dog.
You
walk
get
the dog.
many people where you walk with their dogs off leash?
Off leash? No. But we have a lot of people who walk dogs. That's how I know most people within a mile of the house.
It's the best way to meet people.
Yeah. Yeah, and a lot of times I don't know their names. I know the dog's
Yeah,
name.
right. It's
the
Grover's
dogs-
mom.
Yeah, exactly.
So Maureen worked for a while at Yuppie Puppy and met tons of dogs. And no kidding, we were in the airport not long ago, and there was a drug dog, and she goes, "Oh my God, it's Quincy."
Quincy?
Like, she knows the dog.
Yeah.
That is adorable.
Yeah, you never forget. You always forget people. I always forget people's names. I never forget a dog's name.
Yeah, that's one of the coolest things, especially it's first of all, that's also good for the dogs to get the interaction with other things. But especially when we were younger, we lived in an apartment complex and we got to know all the people around us because everybody who had dogs, you just stop because the dogs want to say hello to each other and you end up talking and you're nice people. I'll hang out.
Here we go. Costco has a new policy change that's coming into force this week. So if you have executive membership at Costco, did you spring
Yes.
for the executive wheels?
Of course.
All right, you will be allowed early entry into stores for an hour on weekday mornings and half an hour on Saturdays before the store is open
That
to
helps
all
you.
other customers.
I'm super excited here as a person that will never be up that early.
Yeah, but that's a neat idea.
What time does it open?
I don't know.
All
I'm
right.
assuming 10.
Okay.
I thought
Sounds
about
right.
you this morning when our boss texted the whole group at 6:20 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I'm the only one who's getting this
Yeah,
text.
I didn't see that. I did actually have to
I
be
saw
up earlier than usual. I had to get up at 8 today. Yeah, I worked that PT, man.
Yeah. How's that
I don't
going?
know. Getting a text at 6:20 in the morning usually is this is not going to be good.
Oh, I wouldn't.
yeah.
I didn't even hear it. My phone's on silent. People that it's unblocked for certain people who can call if there's a problem. But if it's just a text, it will not wake me up.
No, I thought the same thing, Dave. I hit my phone, saw it was 6:20, and I'm like, this is either a mistake or it's really bad.
Yeah. Have I ever told you the story of Dick Ford?
No.
Every time Dick Ford would go on vacation, every time he would go into the news director's office and says, "Okay, so and so, I'm going away for a week, going away for 2 weeks. Is there anything I need to know before I walk out the door tonight?"
That's great.
That's
It's
not
really
going
smart.
to surprise me.
That's really smart.
OpenAI says that parental controls are coming to ChatGPT within the next month. which is great news, but I was a little surprised those didn't exist already.
Yeah. We're going to build this really fast car, and we're not going to put any seatbelts in it until a few years later.
It's a little crazy.
Yeah.
Skechers is making children's shoes with a hidden AirTag compartment. So this is completely separate of Apple. And Apple has even said, like, yeah, we don't suggest you use an tag to track a person, much less a child. But Skechers went ahead and engineered something like this. Basically, you can put the AirTag in the heel of the shoe, and it's a way for you to keep track of where your kid is.
I'm salty at Skechers because just like Spanx, I had that idea first.
Oh.
I remember my grandpa having one of the old-fashioned shoe horns on a cane.
Yeah.
So that he couldn't bend down, so he would just use it like that. And as a kid, I remember thinking, why don't you just make the back of a shoe like a shoe horn?
So that it just slides right in there. Yeah.
But, I mean, I was a kid, so it's not like I was going to develop the idea.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was way too obvious. How many people have not made fortunes because they thought something was too obvious?
Probably quite a few.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to digest. You got to put trackers on your kids?
Yeah.
I mean, that a lot of people have a huge problem with it.
I mean,
but there are a lot of parents our age who I would never track Phoebe without her knowing. But I think Maureen has her on whatever that phone thing is.
Yeah, the Find Friends or whatever. Yeah.
But a lot of people do that surreptitiously. I would not be comfortable with that.
Like my kid's a grown person. I mean, Phoebe's a grown person in my view, right? She's a college person. Like my kid's grown. We all share our locations so that, if, as an example, she wants to call, she can see if we're near home or if I'm at work or whatever, because she knows I won't answer if I'm at work or if I'm at a ball game or something. But if I'm home, I always answer. Like, it's fine to do that if you're all choosing to do it. And I'm not saying it's any kind of violation. Kids, you're the parent of a child. You choose. Their rights are what you say they are when they're kids, right?
Right.
But, I mean, it feels overly paranoid. Doesn't it?
Well, because the thing is, you're not actually tracking where your child is. You're tracking where your child's shoe is.
Right. You'll always know where the shoes are.
Right.
Unless it's a kid that loses stuff all the time, in which case,
So Amazon Prime shipping is changing. They're changing their Prime membership perks. They're limiting the sharing of free 2-day shipping benefits to people within the same household. This comes after a decrease in Prime signups leading up to Prime Day. And so the new program allows sharing benefits with one other adult, up to 4 teens, and up to 4 children, but everyone has to have the same address.
Amazon's crazy. Like, I've used it more this year than before. I don't know why I didn't use it in the past. I just didn't understand it, or I thought it was a scam. But just, for example, last night I noticed I needed razors, like, regular, shave your face razors. And I went to Amazon, and they had the kind I use, less expensive than the grocery store, delivered by 7 in the morning for no money. That's nuts.
It is. It is nuts.
Crazy.
Yeah, well, no extra money.
Well, no, like, delivery charge.
Right, because you're paying that in your membership, yeah.
Yeah, which I'm fine with.
Yeah, absolutely.
One more story for you guys. Texas has banned lab-grown meat for the next 2 years. Even though this product is not really widely available in Texas already. So, a lot of people think lab-grown meat could revolutionize the food industry. But the ban in Texas only prohibits sales. It doesn't prohibit research or development.
It's all those conservatives with their love of free trade.
I'm trying to understand, like, is this because there are health and safety concerns?
I'm guessing it's performance.
Or is it because there's a lot of cattle ranchers in Texas and they don't want
I'm going
competition?
to go with that one.
Yeah.
The meat industry.
Yeah,
it's the
because there's no
cattle
reason to be
ranchers.
putting a ban on anything because of that. If your business can't handle competition, then maybe you shouldn't be in business.
He's always definitive.
Well, I mean, we hear this all the time from people that are like that, right? Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, fix yourself, figure it out. Well, why do we got to make special arrangements for giant industries, but yet human beings are told figure it out yourself?
You really need to run for office.
No, I cannot do that. Can't do it.
Too real.
No, I don't want it. I don't want any part of any of that nonsense.
You don't want a pay cut.
Yeah, that's true too.
What about being a stripper?
All right, maybe.
All right.
What do you think all the workouts are for?
Thank you, Dave.
All right.
Tell you guys about Mark Cantor and Cantor Injury Law. I think my favorite visual with Cantor Injury Law, having been in the practice, is how Cantor and his associates and his partners and his paralegals and his investigators, they build a wall between you and the insurance company. So the first 5 years I was a lawyer, I worked for a defense firm who represented insurance companies. And I have to tell you that for my South Roxana, Woody Boyd off the farm sensibilities, I was pretty blown away at how evil they were, the kinds of strategies they wanted us to employ. So you're going up against very smart lawyers who are very well funded by multi-billion-dollar companies. Don't choose your plaintiff's attorney based on any advertising, including this, but certainly not the jackass douchebag advertising you see from these other plaintiff's attorneys in St. Louis. Don't reward them for bad behavior. Mark Cantor is the real deal. He was once again named to the top 10 on Lawyers Weekly Power List. Those guys were not. So if you need someone to stand guard between you and the insurance companies, it's Mark Cantor. 314-628-9999 or CantorInjuryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, they cleared the Highway 64 crash. This traffic report to service at Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing. That crash was eastbound 64 just before 141. We still have a jam, though, from Andy Guns to almost Timberlake. It's unwinding, but it's not back to normal yet. Westbound 64 Kings Highway, headed all the way to Hanley, Clayton Worson all the way to 270. From Topgolf all the way to the Boone Bridge, those are all slowdowns. And again, Lake St. Louis Boulevard out to 70 after that. Westbound 70 has some pockets. In fact, it begins right around Salisbury out through the city limits. There's a little slowdown. TR Hughes Decay after that is not so bad. Southbound 270 again busy from Dorset all the way down through to about Manchester. North 270 jams from Doherty Ferry up to Manchester. Still slow up to 64 after that. Southbound 55 south of Arsenal Debates is backed up a little slow. South of Z, not that bad. Westbound 44 a little heavy through the bridges downtown as well. I'm Roger Brand at the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Came over, we were having spaghetti when we suddenly noticed that we started getting sweaty. So we grabbed the keys and we ate it in the van. That's what my friend said. Call Jerry Kelly, man, JerryKelly.com. Give him a call even though it's late. JerryKelly.com.
It's back, and you're invited to join us in Forest Park, September 19th and 20th, for the 53rd Annual Great Forest Park Balloon Race Weekend, presented by PNC Bank. Attendance is free, and the number of memories and photos you can capture is endless. Special thanks to New Ground International and Blue Moon Brewing Company. The 53rd Annual Great Forest Park Balloon Race Weekend. For more details, visit the events page at KMOX.com.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. I see clearly now thanks to the doctors, Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andy Royer. You can too. YourEyeDoc.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Hey St. Louis, this is Ben Barnett, board certified master arborist with Timberline Professional Tree Care. In my nearly 30 years in the industry, I've seen firsthand what damage falling trees can do to your